About the Pro Bowl. True. So, what do you say we get this show on the road with Edmonton? Again, short-term series, but I wanted to beat everybody else to the punch because I have no choice. I have no choice. So here's how we're going to handle this, right? Here's how we're going to handle this. Pretty much going to handle it the same way I always handle the start of a series. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I'm going to trade everyone and everything. No. But what I am going to do is kind of half Milbury mode it and set up the trade block to literally have everyone be available. And we'll see what kind of offers we get. And hopefully, in particular, we can get rid of Cam Talbot because, let's be honest, we might as well because he's gone in real life anyway. So there is that. Pink Ninja. Half a year with this crap, right? That's how I feel. Thank you very much for the 6 month, buddy. I do appreciate it. Let's get this going. First thing actually is set up the trade block. Set up the scouting. I was gonna say the fog of war is off because I still don't feel like that works well for when it's for when you're on the YouTubes and the Twitch. It doesn't really help. Did we update the other goalie's contract? We did. Everything is up to date. Mikko Koskinen extension, Brad Hunt trade. Everything is up to date, of course. Just because the roster editing spectacular is done doesn't mean I stop editing. I actually made a note at the top of the roster editing spectacular, the document, that I am still making some changes, and you will see that indeed. Yeah, Pyro, he has a point, right? He has a point. Of course, I'm still updating everything. Would you believe it, McJesus on the trade block IRL? I mean, if you're Edmonton, you gotta listen to everything. That's the problem. You gotta listen to everything. If someone gives me a good enough offer for Connor McDavid, I'm taking it because that organization top to bottom is brutal. Not just in this game. I'm talking real life. If someone somehow comes up with an offer good enough, like, I don't know, 4 first-round picks and all these prospects, sure, I would trade Connor McDavid. I would. Because, my God, is that organization terrible. Did you get Colby Cave? Colby Cave's on this roster. We're good. We're good. It's fine. It's all well and good. Everything's up to date. Everything is up to date. Oh, baby. All right, so a little bit of early management that we have to get out of the way. But once we get it over and done with, we don't have to worry about it again, pretty much. So, highest rated scouts, Timu. Sign you up. Greg Goldman. Every team needs a Goldman. If you can trade Gretzky, you can trade anyone. Exactly. Nyquist, Andy, what's going on, fellas? I assume. I just assumed. Where's the fire the entire front office button? Well, here's the thing, right? If we want to phrase it as like, oh, well, aren't you worried about Daryl Cates being an overbearing owner who's an absolute idiot? That's right, I said it. He can be worth billions and still be an idiot. We're just going to assume that I took the job as GM without having to worry about his input whatsoever. Because, let's be honest, in real life, you can't replicate the Oilers in franchise. You just can't do it because, my God, that organization's a tire fire. That's right, I said it. That's right. I said it. I want the ability to move draft picks from team to team. Me too! And hopefully it happens relatively soon. Actually, the one thing I want to check... Oh, new video tomorrow on the New Look channel. Get excited. Bojo, I am. Just make sure you send it to me on Twitter, because otherwise I'll completely forget. I will completely forget otherwise. Oh, boy. So, let me double check here. Do we have anybody unsigned that I desperately want to sign? I think we have too many goalies signed already to bring in Hayden Hockey right now, don't we? Yes, we do. Alright, so we have 6 goalies signed. I desperately need to trade Cam Talbot just to get him out of here. For defensemen, of course, we had to remove Evan Bouchard's contract because this game is weird. Should I be worried about the Lightning post-Yzerman? No, because they're the cup favorite. I mean, if they don't win, like, this year or next year, then yeah, I'd be a little bit concerned because that window will start to close. But, no. Did I see the... Oh, she's dirty hit on Ovechkin. I heard about it, And then Ovechkin had some quote about concussion spotters. That's all I recall seeing. Alright, let me get those scouts signed and we'll set up this roster. Greg Goldman. I wonder if he makes cakes. I don't get the reference. Teemu Henritius. And my God, gotta bring in the Finns. That's the difference. That is the difference. Columbus passes up on a Finnish prospect, so we're going to bring in all the Finns to make sure we don't take another Puljujarvi and ruin his development. That's the way to do it. Who's going to be your first big piece to bring in? I think for the first season, we're going to be rather conservative. We're going to be rather conservative. Just open up the trade block, see what the AI offers, and take it from there. I don't like starting something up and just being like, okay, all the big moves right now, every big move. Nah. We're gonna, it's gonna be slow and steady. It's gonna be slow and steady. Tasting the goodness of the biscuit. Young blood. Appreciated, buddy. With that lovely, lovely prime sub. I do appreciate it. Again, unfortunately, for those who watch on Twitch regularly, of course, for those of you watching right now, I have to have the desktop audio down for the sake of being able to actually listen to music and not bore myself. So, that's the one downside. Thanks, YouTube, for your bullshit setup. Let's be honest, it is. Because everyone clicks on an NHL-related video to listen to Faith No More or whatever the hell I have in the background. So, there's that. Z-Pops, you should have waited 2 seconds to listen to my explanation. It would have saved you from typing. It would have saved you. Solid 1 bit. You should Milbury mode until this date, so you're still extra screwed. Oh, we're already screwed, though. We're already screwed. It's Edmonton. That's the problem. I accidentally just put another scout on the W. I wasn't supposed to. That's what happens. Why don't you record more stuff live? Because then we make mistakes, and now I can't move that scout to the queue. Damn it. Alright, we need another U.S. West scout. Who's good enough here? Who is good enough? You! Hudson. Hudson. Sure. You get to go to the United States West. You should trade McDavid to a division rival for $15 million. You see, because Gretzky. You see. You get the joke. You see. Let's see. We need another U.S. Central and 2 U.S. Easts. Right, who wants to go to the U.S. Central? Who wants to do it? A+, Dwight Klimchuk. There you go. See if you can get a fair deal from McDavid. Here's the thing. Again, the trade block is completely open. We could get an offer for any player. And if it's an interesting enough offer for McDavid, I'll take it. It depends. Trade McDavid for a steak dinner. That's actually not that bad of an option. I would consider it. Alright, we need 2 U.S. Easts. 2 U.S. Easts, ideally. Doesn't have to be U.S. East, but it will be. Oh, let's go for old Madsen and Boris. Madsen and Boris, attorneys at law. Somebody make that a show, would you? Just started an Edmonton franchise this morning and it was tough. See? That's why we're doing this. I told you. It's the popular thing. It's the popular thing. I don't know what Kyra's potential is right now. We'll check in a second. I told you, man. I have to beat people to the punch. It's a frenzy. It's a race at this point. And damn it, I'm going to be 2 days behind from when he was fired. And if that's not fast enough, then so be it. Full meal at Denny's. Shout out to Denny's. Which is it's okay. Having worked at a Denny's, though. Fresh out of high school. It was weird. Are we doing Milbury mode? We're not. Although, that said, as far as hey, are we doing Milbury mode, viewer picks, franchises on Twitch this year? Of course we are. Just gotta give it time. Just gotta give it time. Alright. Let's see. We need an extra League of Scouts. And it's gonna be you, Mr. Gerber. To the Czech Republic with you. IHOP better than Denny's. I have eaten at an IHOP once. Once in my life. It was good, though. It was good, though. I give them credit. Let's see. Alright, we are going to need an extra SHL and League of Scouts. Let's go Sergei Shemanov to the Switzerlands with you. And I don't think we're going to go with an EBEL scout. So we're pretty much good to go. Just about. I hate having to set this up at the beginning of every playthrough, but what are you going to do? Alright, who wants to go to Sweden? Who wants to go to Finland? Okay, you're both terrible in that region, but that's okay. I don't care. Rositas, you're going to Sweden. You're going to Sweden. How about a Chiarelli mode for only one of the trades? Chiarelli mode is signing signing players to ridiculous contracts that you shouldn't. Oilers fans have been through enough, damn it. Oilers fans have been through enough. It's time to save the day. Like only we can. For Connor McMichael, hopefully. Trade him for Mongo McMichael. Trade him for Mongo McMichael. Alright, so. This roster, as far as how we're setting it up, Cam Talbot's going to be sent down to the minors because he's done. We'll call up Al Montoya, and Talbot will just sit there until he's traded because it's obvious he's done. Defensively, I think we're pretty much good to go. I mean, it's not a great defense, of course. I'm going to send down Caleb Jones. Is there anybody to call up? Jesus. Right. What if we call up these two? We'd be over the player limit. Damn it. Kevin Gravel, down to the minors with you. Oh, that's a whole bunch of average right there. Let's see. Someone asked about Puljujarvi's potential. I mean, he's 24, so it doesn't matter, but medium 9. 11, 12, 13 with Colby Cave. The kiss of death for Peter Chiarelli. Colby Cave. Alright, so I want to send down Puljujarvi. Have him play in the AHL, destroy some worlds, and then we'll call him up next year when he's good to go. I don't think we're going to move him unless we get a good enough offer. Henrik needs a ring. Let's save the day. Eventually. I mean, in fairness, NHL 17, we got Henrik a ring, man. The good old days. Oh, boy, this team. This is not going to be good. I should send down Spooner. Colby Cave was an inside job. He might have been. You know what? We're going Draisaitl and McDavid on the top line. Screw it. Screw it. Oh, Juju, I don't want you to be the fourth line option, but you're probably going to be the fourth line option. Although, physical option. Physical option. Yep, well, physical option. Alright, that's not bad. So we have more of a power forward enforcer type on each line because, you know, that's Chiarelli style. So that works, I guess. Oh, God. And Mikko Koskinen's going to be the guy for us moving forward because we have literally no choice. He's here. I don't even know if... I'm going to be shocked if the AI... I'm going to be shocked if the AI actually, you know, offers anything for him. Do you think Puljujarvi actually has that potential? Here's the problem. If you go low potential, it's too low. If you go high top 6, still probably not accurate. So with Puljujarvi, it's tough because it's like, yeah, Edmonton kind of ruined him. But would I say medium elite still fair for him? Yeah, he's young enough, so why the hell not? Like I said, you could go low elite, but that's going to hurt that trade value a lot. Just because of the way trade values are decided in this game. So, alright, I think we're good. I don't think we have any prospects sitting that we don't want sitting out, because let's be honest, it's Edmonton, and it's pretty barren. It's pretty barren. It's pretty bad. Hebig, Esposito, Colin Larkin. Yeah, we're fine. Nolan Vesey. Sweet. I'll take it. So that's going to be the starting roster. I want to move Edmonton to Dimsdale. I would. That would be the best setup. So the trade block's good. Scouting staff is just about good. I need to wait a couple of days to switch that guy over to the queue. Our roster is basically set. Let's move forward towards the regular season. No, Bozak, you have not missed much. You have not missed much. Not yet, at least. I need NHL 10 style, just flurry of trade offers. You have Kirill Maximoff in the system. I believe he was there, yes. I believe he was there. I mean, he should be. Everything's accurate, so, yeah. Edmonton's driven Puljujarvi trade value into the ground. I'm shocked if they got more for him than what they got for Yakupov. I think they'd still get more for him than what they got for Yakupov. That's a debatable point, though. You're not wrong. But unfortunately, there's no system in the game to be like, oh, well, this team in real life has ruined this guy's value, even though theoretically he could still live up to that potential. There's no way for that to factor in. So, you know, who's going to be 8th in the Central? Arizona. I don't know. What's the goal of this? To have Edmonton not suck. To win something with Connor McDavid. To fix the mistakes. The litany and myriad of mistakes that Peter Chiarelli's made. Unfortunately, though, I'm kind of hoping for trade offers, and the AI is letting me down a little bit thus far. So, we'll see. Interesting. I'm probably going to decline that. Talk about not getting any trade offers. I'm probably gonna decline that. I'm not desperate to get rid of Zach Kassian, even though he sucks. That's right, I said it. I'm not desperate to get rid of him, though, because his contract honestly isn't that long. And I don't want to give up a second-round pick this year for a first-round pick next year with how deep this first-year draft is because of all the added players. So we'll hold off on that. Why would you want to do that trade? Well, in fairness, now here's the thing, of course. We've done test runs, and we know that Colorado can be a bit hit or miss in terms of whether or not they actually do anything, right? We are 2-8-1. Who says these rosters aren't realistic? Colorado's a bit hit or miss. So that extra first-round pick next year could actually prove to be quite valuable with how, hell, Tampa was 7-1. With how inconsistent the sim is, it could be beneficial to have that pick, but I'm not too worried about it. I forgot to switch that extra scout to the queue. That's okay. We can go do it now. NHL 20 is an NHL 10 anniversary mode where every day there's a new trade offer. Every day. Los Angeles is killing it, and Calgary sucks. Because this sim engine does what it wants. You can't tell anyone otherwise. I'm ready for Philly to trade Wayne Train to Edmonton for Puljujarvi. You know? There might, if Chiarelli wasn't fired, there might have been something to that. If Chiarelli wasn't fired, I could easily see that happening. Now, probably not the best call, but you never know. Who's to say? I don't think... This is why I wanted to do this quickly here, right? Talbot's actually not playing in Bakersfield. I have him sitting out. That's why they suck. Or one of the reasons why they suck. And I lost my train of thought on the other point. It's fine. We're going to fix this team, damn it. I still prefer NHL 10 trades to any of the year. I mean, just for the hecticness of it all, with a big trade every other day. Yeah, I kind of agree. It's fairly ridiculous. Patrick Russell's hurt. What are we gonna do without Patrick Russell? Or the Nuge. Okay, that actually kind of sucks. That's all right though. We'll survive. We will survive. Maybe. I mean, hopefully. The goal here is to miss out on the playoffs. That would be ideal. Again, I was hoping for a few more AI trade offers. Jesus Christ, the injuries. I was hoping for a few more injuries, right? Or a few more injuries. No, I wasn't. We've had enough. I was hoping for a few more trade offers. Hasn't happened yet. But hopefully soon, the offers start picking up. And that's good to go. And we can move some players out. Otherwise, at the deadline, we're going to have to do it. Swapping third-round picks, that is such a Chiarelli move right there. If the goal was to play this like old PDC, I would take that. It's not, though. Swapping a third-round pick this year for a third-round pick next year and Darren Archibald. I'm good. Thank you, Ottawa. I don't know if you've known this, but there is new management in town. You cannot fleece the Oilers that simply anymore. New management. New management, and I refuse to be fleeced. I refuse. Let's go to January 1st. We'll take a look at the league. What was the overall consensus on 13-14? Andy, I have the hindsight up on NHL 13. 14s will be up within a couple of days. Again, I talked about that on the ye old Discord as far as, there was the option as far as the hindsight stuff is concerned, right? It was either, oh Christ, it was either just go all in and get it done and then get sick of the concept, which is what I always do with everything. Let's play 2 seasons of Super Mega and then not touch it for 6 months, or space it out a little bit more. I didn't want to space it out. And again, I talked about that more in the Discord as far as, hey, here's why we went so overboard, and we're still not done with the flashback stuff, but yeah, no, it is what it is. Oh boy. So, how's Koskinen doing? Of course he's doing well. Al Montoya's played 6 games. What a legend. Al Montoya. Legend. Hero. Oh, there we go. That's good. And then down in the AHL, let's go best lines. Cam, I'm sorry, you're still just going to sit. You're still just going to sit for Wells and Skinner. Is there going to be a best overall video? I don't know. Maybe at the end of the 15 review, I'll just talk about, like, okay, here's, I've already mentioned, though, like, there's 2 different styles, right? If you prefer 6th round pick for Jordan Nolan in the 7th. No. What are you thinking? Petey's gone. No Petey. Just Doogie. No Petey. He gone. He's gone. Anyway. I mentioned in the 13 review that just went up earlier that 12, I am probably going to take that. I mentioned in that review that 12 is like the best of the fast gameplay style. Fast skating, less realistic skating. And I don't know, 14 is really good, but I still want to play more of it. I am probably down for swapping a 2nd round pick next year for Ryan Spooner. I think I like the idea of that, just to get rid of Ryan Spooner. So it's our 2nd round pick this year. Colorado's doing well, so we take a weaker 2nd round pick. Trade Spooner for a 2nd round pick next year. He has 25 points in 37 games. He's actually doing really well for us. 2nd round pick for Ryan Spooner. Probably, maybe. I'm just worried about giving up our 2nd round pick this year because it's going to be a higher up pick. And Spooner's actually doing really well. Not that I think he's a long-term solution for us, but 25 points in 37 games. It's not too bad. I'm going to hold off for now. I'm actually going to hold off for now. We might explore that a little bit closer to the deadline. And at this point, I think we're going to pretty much have to trade guys like Cam Talbot out of here manually. Spooner is almost leading this team in points. Midway point of the season. We're at 17, 19, and 3. Let's see. You have LA, Anaheim, and San Jose on top of the Pacific. Winnipeg, Nashville, Chicago on top of the Central. The Atlantic is Boston, Toronto, Tampa. Metro, New Jersey, Philly, and Pittsburgh. With the Islanders way the hell down there. I think the Islanders are actually the worst team in the league. They are. We're in the bottom 5 at least. Montreal and Calgary, actually, I mean, in fairness, it's like, okay, if you see the Rangers and Oilers there, it's like, I get it. The other 3, not so much. But, Sim Engine's gonna do what the Sim Engine does. Connor McDavid, 26 points. Only 14 goals, huh? EA? 97 offensive awareness. 14 goals? Really? 12 assists? Ryan Spooner has 9 more assists than Connor McDavid. Because this game, that's why. That's the only answer. This game. And without you being able to customize how it sims, you're stuck with it. Kopitar leading the league in points right now. No real surprising names up there, I would say. Amongst defensemen, OEL, Hedman, Doughty, no real surprising names up there either. Who are the top goalies? Razor. Hold on a second now. That's a damn shame because you didn't get to hear the pigeon sound effect. I've been following the Seals since day one, and now the Oilers. Oilers are my team. Don't make fun. I mean, I've been making fun of the Oilers ever since we started this stream. So, what do you want? Maybe you could have IHOP again. I would need to travel a decent way. But the next time I do have IHOP, I'll be thinking of you. I'll be thinking of you. Look at Yaroslav Halak. Top starters right now. Goaltending save percentages are out of control. Rene, Gibson, Carey Price, Connor Hellebuck. What about the rookie race? It's Pedersen. Svechnikov's up there, as is Suomela. But it's Pedersen's to lose. He is injured because, of course, he is. Realism. Realism. The Islanders gave... Wait, maybe as a thanks, the Islanders gave Peter a job as an assistant. Why not, right? Why not? Make fun of the team all you want. The tire fire, just not me for being a fan. Nah, I mean... Well, it depends. I mean, if you're from the if you're from the area or your family, they're Oilers fans, then yeah, there's only so much you can do. But if you chose to be an Oilers fan, the second they got Connor McDavid, then yeah, I'm kind of laughing. Very slim chance of that, but still. All right, Cam, you gotta go. I just don't know what team could possibly need a goalie. The Bruins don't. Why the Bruins are even interested in Cam Talbot, that's absolutely illogical. All right. Is there a team that needs a backup goaltender? Probably not. Which is why I would imagine... Well, then again, if it's broken enough that the Bruins are interested in Cam Talbot, then it's not really a surprise that I haven't gotten an offer for anybody. Columbus. Columbus could make a lot of sense. Columbus would make a lot of sense, especially with Bobrovsky potentially leaving, and they'd have somebody else to sign. We'll keep taking a look, but Columbus makes a lot of sense. Dallas, not so much, because they have both Bishop and Hedman locked up. Florida, I mean, they need another goalie, but it doesn't make sense. LA kind of makes sense, but with Jack Campbell turning it around, I don't really think so. Minnesota, I think Columbus probably makes more sense. Montreal, Carey Price is hurt. How long is Carey Price out for? That's the real question. Garber, what's going on, man? I'm doing well for the moment. We'll see if the sickness starts to overtake, which it has been doing lately. So, how long is Carey out for? Just recently hurt. Just recently hurt. All right, let's sim a couple of days. We'll wait for that price evaluation to come through, and if he's out for a while, we might have just found a landing spot for Cam Talbot. We'll try to play it straightforward before going straight into crazy, let's just fleece the AI mode. January 31st, fractured collarbone. Fractured collarbone, and he's only out for a month? I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. I think Columbus and Montreal are still our best bets. Why did Korpisalo get a medium league potential in NHL 18? I don't know. That's the response. I mean, as far as the logic behind it, I don't know. I don't know. Spin the wheel, see what happens. Spin the wheel, see what happens. Alright, let's see. New Jersey, not really. Islanders are looking fine. Talbot back to the Rangers would make some sense, but it would kind of be a rental for them. That would sure up... What's their record looking like? Yeah, they're not a playoff team. That wouldn't make sense, unfortunately. I'm thinking Columbus or Montreal. Ottawa would kind of work. Yeah, but they did just get Anders Nilsson, so I was thinking maybe using Mike Condon. Nothing's working there for Philly. That doesn't make sense. They have Carter Hart. No reason to add another hurdle in his way. Aaron Dell San Jose is pretty much locked up. St. Louis. So I'm thinking it's between Columbus, Montreal, and St. Louis right now. That's probably the safe bet. We would have to retain salary with the Blues. Doesn't really make sense there. Well, I mean, for Tampa, I guess it would make some sense for them needing a better backup, but probably not. Toronto, it doesn't really make sense because Talbot would just be a rental. Vancouver. Vancouver could probably work too. I think the Canucks could work too. Maybe even take Markstrom back in the deal and just hold on to him. And that way they still don't have another hurdle before Demko's there. That could work. Because ideally for them, they wouldn't be playing Demko in the NHL right now. They have 3 goalies signed. It would make quite a bit of sense to send them Talbot, and that way Demko goes back down to the minors and actually gets starting time. Jesus Christ, Michael DiPietro has already grown by like 7 overall points. And Vegas. I mean, they have Fleury signed, so Washington, they don't need a backup. All right. So Columbus was that first team that looked like a safe bet. And they still might be. Does attribute effects have any effect on the sim? No. No. Nothing with the sliders affects what happens in game. I've tested everything. I've had discussions with devs. It doesn't change anything. There's nothing that a user can alter to affect the way the game sims out unless you jump into games. It's just the way it's programmed. So. Alright. I still think Columbus is probably the best landing spot. Because I don't think Montreal would re-sign him. But Price is out for the month. Is Montreal in a playoff spot? They're not. I'm thinking Columbus, man. I'm thinking Columbus. Probably Columbus or St. Louis? Imagine a team's best leader and best media man being a 20-year-old goalie. Well, you know. I think it's got to be Columbus or St. Louis. Let's see what Columbus has for us, if anything. The good thing is they have plenty of cap space. Do they have any interest in Cam Talbot? Because that would be helpful. They don't. Cool. The hell could we even look to get back? What do you have Hearts overall at? 75 or 76 starting. I have improved him since the editing spectacular, as he has continued to do well. Oh, boy. Mouse, you were correct. It was a 73. He's, like I said, I made him better now. Paul Bittner, Kevin Stenlund. I have him at a 78. That's a bit much. That's a bit much. Wait, is Columbus? Wow, Columbus is struggling, huh? Got a couple of prospects we could go for. None of them are that great. And then pick-wise, I think this is going to work. I think this is going to work. It's just, do we want to go back? Or do we want to try and get back picks more than anything? Are there any of these fringe prospects that are actually worth getting? Bittner, Stenlund, Tessier, and Peak might be the best too. Get Sedlak, trade Spooner. I don't think we'd have to necessarily even do that. I don't think we'd have to do that. Value-wise, kind of works. All right, let's set this up here. Let's look. Let's look one more time here. Columbus gets a better backup goalie for the season and an insurance policy in case Bobrovsky leaves for a prospect and a pick. Makes sense? No guarantees that goes through. But Columbus having a better backup plan than Korpisalo makes a lot of sense. Especially considering they're struggling with Bobrovsky. I'm a Sens fan, so explain to me what a draft pick is. Well, you know, every once in a while, good things happen. Yeah, third's going to be a bridge too far. How's a fourth looking this year? Still rejected. Out of all the teams that could actually want Cam Talbot, Columbus makes a lot of sense. They don't want to take the salary. All right, well, we can retain. That's fine. It's a one-year deal. Don't worry about it, Columbus. We'll make this happen. We'll make it happen. But Cam's gots to go. His future is not here. Oh, Tessier and a 4th-round pick for Cam Talbot. I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense. They disagree, at least for the 4th. Can I get a 5th next year, rather than going straight to the 6th? Yes, I can. So there you go. Cam Talbot off to Columbus. They have an insurance policy. Agent Mike, thank you for the follow. We have an insurance policy. What Oilers prospects do you think have the most potential? Bouchard, primarily. Puljujarvi still got a little bit if they can just figure out what the hell they're doing with them. And Yamamoto, obviously. I feel like that makes sense, though. We trade an insurance policy to Columbus in case they lose Bobrovsky. It gives them options. And we get rid of Cam Talbot, who we don't need. Because, let's be honest, we've been condemned to using Mikko Koskinen. At least for now. So, I think we're still good for the moment. That's the only trade I want to pull off for now. And moving towards the deadline, we'll continue to see what else pops up for AI offers. Hopefully a lot. Perfect timing on that bail. Well, you know. Best part of NHL 10 is when teams have over 10 million in space and just ignore a 7.5. Well, NHL 10's be a GM is just amazing in general. These injuries are killing us, though. So I open up the trade block to just be like, hey, send me offers, and the AI, very wisely, trying to do everything they can to rob me. Just be like, hey, help us get rid of this problem player. Like, that wouldn't make sense. Like, if you want me to take Bellemare off your hands, it should be... Like, there needs to be more to it. There needs to be more to it as far as, oh, just swap picks and you take Bellemare off our hands? Like, that doesn't make sense. The AI should be more in line with, we'll give you Bellemare and a 4th for a 6th. Just take him, please. So, you know. Gym class here. It's going well. And that is indeed why I've started this Edmonton run. I needed to try and beat people to the punch. I was hoping Chiarelli wouldn't be fired. And we would have started this at the end of February. Basically a 6th-round pick for Darren Archibald. No, get out of here. How's your point leader, Draisaitl, not McDavid? Because this game is tuned in a very interesting way. I'm not going to say I agree with it. But that's just, it's the way it's set up, and there's nothing that a user can do to change the way it plays out. So. Oh, boy. All right, let's go best lines again. I want Draisaitl on that top line. Goodness. Another prime sub. It's Sergey. I hope. Otherwise, I just butchered your name. Thank you very much. It is greatly appreciated. Enjoy the fine world of dog-related emotes. And some other random ones. But primarily the dog-related emotes. Oh, a 3rd-round pick in Puljujarvi for a 2nd and a 5th. That's not a terrible offer from Florida. Basically, we move up from the 3rd round to the 2nd round in next year's draft. 9 points for Kyra this year. That's not a terrible offer. Like I said, we'd get to move up to the 2nd round next year. And I like Kyra, but he's not going to get any better. And in terms of filling out the bottom 6 with players, I mean, you can find players like him in terms of attributes. I think we take that. I think we take that. Even I'm not sure how to pronounce my own name. That's awesome. Then Jurge it is. I'm going to try to add a little bit more value to this because, of course, the AI always tries to fleece you. Is there anybody that they're interested in that I could kind of work into this deal? What are they interested in? Oh my god, I gotta sneeze. They're interested in everybody. Alright. Alright. I can't believe Brandon Manning's getting paid that much. Is that real? That's real, isn't it? That's disgusting. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a defenseman I can add to this deal. Like, I know they're interested in Chris Russell, but that's not going to happen. I could send them Petrovich back. Please, take back Petrovich. I don't want him. I don't think there's anything else I can add. So, we'll just go for an extra pick just to make sure the values kind of work out. How's an extra 4th next year? Just to test the waters. Alright. Let's go even... Let's go a 6th next year as well. There you go. So, I'll take that. I will take that. Puljujarvi off to Florida. I'll take it. Not a bad deal for us. Just to be able to move up into the 2nd round in next year's draft. So, forward-wise, we still have 10, 11, 12 with Callahan. And Puljujarvi's made the jump to a 79. He's now a 3rd-line player. So, he's getting the call-up. So that looks to have been the right call to start him off in the AHL. I want to see how well he had done this year. Mitch Callahan, gonna have to take you out of the lineup, sir. Actually, Puljujarvi's already in. Never mind. He's immediately up on the 2nd line. How had he been? How had he? Easy for me to say. Been doing. That's okay. 22 points in 42 games on a really bad team. That's not too bad. And Mitch Callahan, we're going to take out of the lineup for Brad Malone. Easy enough. So, as far as these lines are concerned, we're going to go Lucic, Nuge, and Puljujarvi. And, yeah, Reeder, Spooner, Ratty works. Malone, Brodziak, Cassian. I'm okay with that. Then down in the AHL, go best lines and take out Shane Starrett for Stuart Skinner just to try and help him develop. And we should be good. So Kyra and Cam Talbot are the first 2 players to have been moved out. Slow and steady. Try Leon McDavid, Puljujarvi. In fairness, having Puljujarvi in the top 6, you know, even on the 2nd line, is a bit of a stretch, right? Like, that's a bit much for the sake of his development. It might be a safer idea to play him on that 3rd line. I honestly might switch him back as Ethan Bear goes down to injury, because of course he does. But, like I said, slow and steady approach. I don't like being like, okay, starting a franchise, let me move every bad contract out of the way. Like, no, slow and steady. I want to deal with the consequences of the terrible administration that came before us. I want to deal with the consequences of it and have this team ideally suffer. Jordan Wheel for a 6th and a 7th. It's going to be a no from me, dog. Lucic making $6 million a year is insane. Imagine how the Canucks... Ooh. Brandon Peary, though. Brandon Peary, though. A little bit more exciting than Jordan Wheel. No offense. 6th and a 7th for Brandon Peary. The greatest goal scorer and point producer of our time. I almost want to do that just for the memes. Just for the memes. I kind of want to take that trade for Brandon Peary. Oh, God. What do you guys think? Do we take that? I'm tempted. Hope East, Ice Dogs. Going on, guys? Garber with the bits. Bunny as well. What's happening, people? What's happening? We'll do it for a 7th. Let's see. Is a 7th enough? No, it is not. Sorry, Vegas. Not going to do it then. Not going to do it. We'll be smarter than that. Essentially, Toby Reeder for a 2nd. Yeah, I'm probably going to do that. I'm probably going to trade Toby Reeder for a second. I kind of regret not getting Peary. But Toby Reeder for a second? He's 26. He's not going to get any better. Doesn't have 32 points in 56 games, but... You know... I think we're going to take a second-round pick for Toby Reeder. I don't think that's too controversial. If you had taken the Wheel and Belmar, you would have created the Flyers throwaway team. Fair point. Should have done the Peary deal for SDP. They called that trade. I wouldn't be surprised to see it happen. I'm so far behind on that podcast, too. I normally reserve it for walking the dog, and it's been so brutally cold. You know what's tough, though, is our third line's actually producing. Like, Toby Reeder's going to have a 40-point season. Ryan Spooner was doing really well. I want to take a look at how our third line's been doing this year. Because go figure, they're actually producing. Like, Ryan Spooner, over 30 points this year. We've had Chase on the top line. Luch is, he's been okay. How's Ty Ratty doing? That third line hasn't been terrible, right? That hasn't been terrible. But I think we have to take that. We are going to safety net it a little bit. What podcast? The Steve Dangle podcast. One of the new series coming. Soon. Soon. When I can record and stream without my throat being on fire. So, you know. Is a third round pick a bit too much, Minnesota? What do you think? It is. That's fine. Would you do that return? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't to the GM of the Wild. But I also wouldn't offer a second round pick for Toby Reeder. So there's that. Fifth rounder? We get an extra fifth rounder out of the deal. Minnesota wanted Toby Reeder for a second round pick, and they got him. I will gladly take that. So at this point, we have 10, 11, and 12 with Callahan. Let's call up not Kyler Yamamoto, everyone's favorite, Colby Cave. Colby Cave will get the call up. As we continue to try and trade away whatever bit parts we can on this team. At least by having the AI initiate the trade offers. Let's see. I think Callahan is probably going to be scratched. I think we're actually going to bring in Colby Cave into the lineup here. Alright, so let's go with something. Kind of want to bump up Brodziak. Who has better face-offs here? Colby Cave. So there we go. I mean, the bottom six is still looking a little bit rough. The team in general is still looking a little bit rough. But slow and steady. We're adding draft picks along the way. At least letting the AI initiate the trades because it doesn't feel as cheap. As opposed to me just, you know, going out and trading away everybody that I need to. So, we're getting there. We're getting there. Never seen the Oilers stack up for the draft before. I know. New era. Derek Grant on waivers. It might actually not be the worst idea to pick him up. We have roster space too. I'll take him for the rest of the year. That way, if we keep trading people, 4th and a 6th for Adam Tambellini. Are you insane? No. No offense to Adam Tambellini. No. Get out of here. Oh, Colby Cave, the place where you store cheese. The pinnacle of menu streaming. It really is, though. It really is. Forgot that Nino got traded for Rask. Of course, Minnesota wants Toby for a second. Yeah, fair point. They do need a potentially offensive winger, don't they? Fair point. Fair point, Sox. It does make sense. You're absolutely right. Let's go best lines down in the AHL. Get Derek Grant in there. And again, it sucks I have to take out Shane Starrett every time. But we want Stuart Skinner to get some games in. Future backup for us, hopefully, to Mikko Koskinen. Because we're stuck with Mikko Koskinen for the considerable future. I'm taking it, obviously. Philly, what the hell? Flyers fans, divert your eyes. I know it's hard to look at, but divert your eyes. All right, so here's the one reason why I'm tempted not to take this, and again, it is because of all the players that we've bumped up and added to the first-year draft, that it is a little bit of a risk to trade away a second and third round pick in this year's draft. But we have also added players and bumped up players for that next year draft as well, and we get rid of Brandon Manning. So, you know, I think we have to take that and potentially add a little bit more to it, which is amazing. I trade McDavid for Manning 1-for-1, right? All right. Hold on. I'm still bordering on that line of being sick, and it sucks. And again, that's the main reason why uploads have slipped a little bit on YouTube. But, can I change that second to next year's second? That is goal number 1. We have Florida's and Minnesota's second next year. Let's try to use Florida's instead. So, actually, in fairness, I would rather use a second and third from next year. The Flyers don't need Manning. I don't have a third next year. Shit. Let's use ours, I guess. I mean, I will at least try to save the AI from themselves. The Talbot trade made sense. The Kyra deal's not major. As far as Philly, you know, and the Reader trade at least makes sense because of the Niederreiter trade. Do the Flyers need another defenseman, though? Robert Haig is down. I think that's our justification right there. Robert Haig is injured. They need a little bit of depth now because of the injury to Robert Haig. Don't know how long he's hurt for, but I think that's our justification of making it a realistic trade. They have an injured defenseman and need one more for a little bit of depth. They need a 7D. Brandon Manning is a 7D. They're just willing to give up a first-round pick for him. Who am I to say no? He's literally a 7D. He hasn't played a single game for us this year. He's literally a 7th defenseman. For how long? That's the unfortunate thing, Copsters. We can't look without having to reinitiate the trades. I think we're justified. I think we're justified. Oh, and rather than adding to their side of the bargain, I'm going to take away that third round pick this year. Again, we already switched the second round pick from this year to next year. I'm going to switch that third to a 4th next year. I'd rather have picks for this upcoming draft. Manning, a 2nd and a 4th, which is absurd. But the fact that they do need... They need a 7th defenseman. He is literally a 7th defenseman. I don't make the rules as far as value is concerned. Will that go through? It will not. That's okay. That's okay. Philly, we can make this work. We can make this work. I'll even see if there's a forward you'd like me to tack on here. How about a nice shiny Derek Grant, who we just picked up on waivers? Actually, Brad Malone would be even better. How would you like a nice depth forward as well in Brad Malone? Free of charge. Free of charge. You get Manning like you want. You get some draft picks back too. You get Brad Malone. Okay, well, in fairness, the values might... Okay, I might have to have it be a third-round pick now. I might have to have it be a third-round pick. So, we'll use ours. The Islanders have a little bit more value on that. And... let's stop memeing on them. Hey, I can't help it. How about a 5th-round pick this year? How about now? Oh, that would be the deal that runs you out of town? Adding a 5th-round pick to it? Not the initial deal you offered me, but you giving up that extra 5th would run you out of town. Yeah, that's going to be the backbreaker for Flyers fans. Again, out of the kindness of my heart, have Brad Malone. Shit. Okay, Brad, you weren't worth enough. Out of the kindness of my heart, have a player that I just picked up on waivers in Derek Grant. There you go. We just got a 1st-round pick for Brandon Manning. Thank you very much, Philadelphia. And we also get rid of Derek Grant, who we literally just picked up on waivers. I am not the one who initiated that trade. I'm not the one who decided. I'm actually going to call up Starrett so I don't have to keep taking him out. I'm not the one who negotiated that trade. I don't think that's taking advantage of the AI. I think the AI did it to themselves. The Ethan Bear, holy shit. Up to a 78. It's not bad. So we got 7 defensemen there. We'll leave everybody else down in the minors still. And forward-wise, we have our 10. Hockey, thank you for the follow. 11, 12, and 13. McCallahan. Beautiful. Beautiful. Kofster, I'm sorry. To every Flyers fan in chat, I'm sorry. But it's not my fault EA programmed your GM's AI to be questionable. Let's go with questionable. Is that fair? Is that fair to call that negotiation from that AI a little bit, worrying? We'll use the word worrying on this occasion. Let's go with that setup there. Beautiful. And down in the AHL, best Lions, we're good to go. And Electro Salmon, tremendous name. Cody, take it easy. Electro Salmon, phenomenal name. And Ryan as well. 3rd round pick for Trevor Lewis. It's going to be a no from me, dog. Thanks, I'll pass. I'll pass. Let's sim to deadline day. We'll see what else has happened around the league. And we might make a few extra moves, maybe. It depends. I like the AI being the one to negotiate with me, as opposed to me ripping them off. Brodziak in a 4th. Now see, I'm not against taking Scott Darling. Right? You forgot to put Skinner back in. I don't have to now, Garber. I called up Starrett to the NHL, so if I go best lines in the AHL, he's in by default. I wouldn't be totally against taking on Darling's contract, right? But you have to offer me more than Jordan Martinook. Had the suggest trade from the show, I would die. Trust me, I am begging for that and have been for a while. I've been wanting that for so long. Oh, boy. So again, I'll take the Darling contract. That's fine. You need to offer me more than Jordan Martinook for it. And if anything, that really doesn't make sense. Right here, Dan Renouf, UMaine Black Bear, by the way, for a 4th round pick makes sense. Martinook and Brodziak cancel out. I'm getting nothing back for taking on Scott Darling. Absolutely nothing. So, Carolina, I don't know how dumb you think I am, but again, Petey's gone. Big PDC, he's not here anymore. You're dealing with somebody else. Take on Darling's contract and give them Lucic. Now, see, that would make sense. Carolina, here, you came to me out of the kindness of your heart. And let's see. I get it. You want to move Scott Darling. I can help with that, right? I can help with that. Let's see what we can do here. You don't have anybody else on the... Well, that's actually a lie. Kuokkanen would be a nice little pickup for us. Jack Drury would be too. I mean, if we're gonna do this here, right? Renew for a 4th. In terms of it being... I mean, let's be honest. The average player who's drafted in the 4th round is about Dan Renouf level. So yeah, it makes sense. Not trading a 1st round pick for Brandon Manning. Hey, I'm not the one who negotiated that. I'm just saying, they needed another defenseman, man. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. They negotiated it. There's Kirill Maximov, by the way. How far down is Lucic on the value scale? Holy shit. I don't know. They're interested in Lucic. We have a point of discussion here. They are in fact interested in Milan Lucic. I don't even know if I want this to work. I don't even know if I want this to work because it doesn't really make sense for us to take on Scott Darling. We don't need him. I'm sorry, Carolina. There's no basis for discussion here. There just isn't. I'm sorry. I get that you want to get rid of Darling. It's not going to work. I'm sorry. Brodziak and 2/4 for Kevin Stenlund. It's going to be a no from me. I might be able to find some steals. 5 years, 6 months. Oh, yeah, that Lucic contract, man. It's a killer. All right, so the question is, how aggressive are we in terms of shopping some of our players? That is the question. We already shopped Talbot to Columbus. Goaltending-wise, we're fine. We don't have to make any more changes. Defensively, keeping the top 3 intact makes sense. I don't think there's a single team in real life that would take on Andrei Sekera right now. So we're probably stuck with them. There's not a team who would take on that Chris Russell contract. I'm not going to try to deal that. We're stuck with that. Betting on that cap hit isn't that bad. And at least for this year, I don't have anybody I want to get rid of. Petrovic, I'm going to keep him just because Chiarelli acquired him, and we'll just let him go to free agency at the end of the year. Ethan Bear will be ready to make the step up. So I think defensively we're fine. Fine. Relative term, of course. Alex Chason, like, we'll let him go at the end of the year. Don't really plan on moving Nuge right now. Again, that Lucic contract, we are stuck with that albatross. Like, the only way I think we move the Lucic deal is if I also give up a first-round pick in the deal, right? That's the only way. We're not going to give up our first deal. Like, the only way we get rid of that Lucic deal is if we use that first-round pick that we got from Philly to do it. So, I'll leave that up to you guys. Because that's probably what it's going to take. Cap retention and that first, or we just buy him out. Or we just keep him. So we have options at least. Russell, Sekera, and Hughes take up like $15 million a year. Oh yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Lucic has a no-move clause, same for Russell. Fuck, you're right, Lucic does have a no-move clause. So, well, here's the thing though, if I were to move him then, I'd have to try and move him to a contender. Is Bouchard in the O? Yes, he is. Aside from Luch, I mean, like, someone like Brodziak's fine. But the only thing we could really look to do is move Chason, Ratty. I think we're stuck with Cassian. That's really the only thing I could do is move Chason and Ratty for bit draft picks. That's it. Trade him for Alsner and save cap, right? That would be hilarious. Probably going to keep Chason. Not exactly producing in real life like he is next to McDavid. And Ty Ratty. I think we're fine. I think any of the other big moves that we make will come later. Where should Lucic go? Did you say Philly? I absolutely did not. But I said to a contender. So, I don't know. We could explore. I mean, you could always waive him too. Fair point. I think if we move Lucic, it'll be next year. Or at the very least at the draft. I think for now we're okay. We got rid of Talbot. I didn't plan on moving Toby Reeder and Brandon Manning. That just kind of happened. And the Kyra deal to Florida. So we changed up a couple of things, but nothing too crazy. I am actually going to send down Lucic right now and see if he clears. I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will. A contender, definitely not Philly, right? All right, Luch. Through waivers you go. Yeah, surprise, surprise, he cleared. Surprise, surprise. I've calmed down now, but something in the house will break if that Flyers pick becomes a lottery pick. Oh, it will. Just you wait. So like I said, I think any other moves will wait until the draft. So, let's see what we have here in terms of other trades. Mike, what's going on, man? So, San Jose gets Paul Stastny and Brandon Peary for Jeremy Waugh, Dylan Gambrell, and a third. That seems like a really low return for Stastny. Vegas already deals Stastny to San Jose for 2 prospects and a third. Winnipeg gets a third, a fourth, and Jordan Oosterley for a second. So, depth defenseman, they get some picks back. That balances out, I guess. We, of course, get the first-round pick for Brandon Manning, which is hilarious. Mark Mathot to Chicago, along with a 4th and a 5th for a 3rd and a 4th. So, basically, Mark Mathot for a 3rd, or Mark Mathot and a 5th for a 3rd. That's just a weird trade. Tom Kuhnhackl straight up for a 4th. The Rangers basically just said, here, take Bolesky and a 4th for nothing. That's what it was. I gotta sneeze. Ow. But yeah, the Rangers, I mean, you swap 3rd-round picks, 19 and a 20. Bolesky to Philly. I don't know what Philly's doing right now. Pittsburgh gets Fehervari, I know I'm not pronouncing that the right way, a 3rd and a 4th for Philip Hollander, a 3rd, and 2 others that definitely don't have room to fit on the screen. Minnesota gets Richard Panik for a 3rd and a 6th, and Minnesota really wanting to replace Nino Niederreiter with players of lesser value. Anaheim gets Matt Duchene and Zach Smith for 2 first-round picks and Isaac Lundstrom. Whew. Guess what else Edmonton needs to do? Get rid of all their scouts. Edmonton needs to get rid of everybody. They need to get rid of everybody. Ottawa gets 2 first-round picks and Isaac Lundstrom for Matt Duchene and Zach Smith. Big deal from Anaheim. And I cannot wait to see what happens with Ottawa over the next few seasons. LA gets Cody McLeod. Would that be Cody? Yeah, it would be Cody McLeod. Right? Yeah. 4th and a 5th for 2 fourths. We, of course, had the Toby Reeder deal. Oh, yeah. So, see, New Jersey ended up getting Cody McLeod basically for nothing in a 4th-round pick swap. Nashville gets Marcus Johansson, Brian Boyle, and 2 other assets for 2 first-round picks and Yakov Trenin. So, New Jersey wheeling and dealing. I, of course, wonder what else Nashville managed to get. But Nashville is clearly going for it. 2 first-round picks. They get Marcus Johansson, Brian Boyle, and 2 other pieces. The Maple Leafs have acquired Jeff Skinner, Nathan Beaulieu, and 2 other pieces for 2 first-round picks and Gabriel Gagne. Toronto acquires Jeff Skinner for 2 first-round picks, essentially. The AI is wasting no time. No time at all. We, of course, then had the Jujar Kyra trade to cap things out. Jeff Skinner to the Leafs. Check Toronto and Nashville after this. I'm going to have to. So let's see what we have here around the league. Whoops, wrong one. That's okay. Let's see what we have here around the league. I do actually have to fix our lines after sending down Luch, but that's okay. Let's see what we got. So this is what Anaheim's looking like now. That center depth is ridiculous with Getzlaf, Duchene, Henrique, and Shore. Daniel Sprong in on the 4th line as well. Their defense, of course, with Del Zotto and Schuster. Yikes. Again, at the beginning of every season, I'll probably take a look at every other team's lines just to see what they look like at that point. But the other really interesting team would have been Nashville. I'm trying to remember. Actually, what's Minnesota look like right now? Parise, Granlund, Zucker, Koivu, Stahl, Rask. So they don't even have Toby Reeder in the lineup. Is he in the minors? We traded them Toby Reeder. Maybe they flipped him elsewhere. Son of a bitch, I hit the wrong button. That's okay. NHL series need to have a trade history in each player profile. That would be amazing. That would be amazing and very helpful. What's New Jersey look like right now? Because they made some deals too. They definitely sold. I mean, obviously with Boyle and Johansson, but still. Yakovlev's in the lineup, Joey Anderson, Quinville. So New Jersey looking to stock up on picks. Ivory, what's going on? Nashville. Forsberg, Johansson. That's amazing. Arvidsson, Turris, Fiala. Brian Boyle in on the 4th line. I'd be shocked if they don't at least make it to the Cup final. Actually, I wouldn't be because of how this sims, but still. And their defense is the same. And the other... Actually, what's Ottawa look like now after trading Duchene to Anaheim? They have some good pieces, man. Brady Tkachuk's in there. Isaac Lundstrom now. Hlapik, Drake Batherson. And they have those draft picks. Ottawa's recovered really well. Check Iowa's lines. I probably will. And then... Actually, what's San Jose look like now with Stastny? He's on their third line with Thornton and Donskoy. San Jose is going for it, too. And then the Leafs have Nylander, Tavares, Marleau, Skinner, Matthews, Marner, Hyman, Kadri, Kapanen, Brown, Larson, and Andreas Janssen. Defense is Gardner, Zaitsev, Hainsey, Dermott, Marincin, Borgman. Who needs defense, right? The Canucks didn't really do anything. Pedersen's up to an 88. They didn't really do anything. A lot of the familiar names outside of Gagne not being there. Vegas, Winnipeg, Philly. I can see what Philly looks like at this point. No changes to Philly outside of the fact that, of course, we sent them Derek Grant. And, yeah, defensively, they have their lovely worth a first-round pick, Brandon Manning. Brandon Manning. Riley might be hurt. Okay, we're good for now. I only wanted to look at the teams that made moves at the deadline, right? At the beginning of Season 2, we'll take a look at what the rosters are looking like for every team. Which is really fun to do now that we've, of course, changed up everything with the roster editing. And, you know, players actually develop. So, check if Riley's injured. We'll find out in due time if he's still alive. I'm sure he is just injured. And if it's making you stress that they might have traded him, then I'm definitely not going to show you. Let's see. Have Luch there. And again, same thing lineup-wise. There we go. And then down in the AHL, again, best lines. And like I said, goaltending-wise, Wells and Skinner are there by default. So, we're good. We're good. Wait, as far as who did I give a boost? If you think a 76 is low for Carter Hart, who's played like 12 NHL games, you're out of your mind. And I won't even debate it or discuss it with you. Come on now. I'll double check Toronto though to see if Morgan Riley's hurt. I'm sure he is. I didn't see anything about him being traded. Yeah, he and Nathan Beaulieu, who they just acquired, is hurt. They acquired Beaulieu alongside Jeff Skinner. So, let's move on. Let's move on. I already boosted Price back up by 1 overall. He is back up to an 89 from the 88 that we had him at. Trust me, guys, I pay attention. We go with the formula, and then throughout the rest of the year, I continue to update things as we go along. So, you know, Carter Hart's already up 3 overall points. Korpisalo's on waivers. So, they clearly sent him down after we sent them Cam Talbot. Of course, I dropped his potential. I don't need him, though. Like, he's just... I don't need him. I won't be mean to Columbus. I don't need him. I'll pass. Cassian with a concussion. Is that from shoving someone into the bench and punching him a couple of times to the point where Milan Lucic had to tell you to calm down? You psychopath. Don't know if anybody saw that, but... Zach Cassian, professional psychopath. Now, I don't even want you in my lineup. Mitch Callahan can play for now. Mitch Callahan. NHLer. I believe in him. He'll be fine. Al Montoya's hurt. Of course he is. But we have Shane Starrett, so that's fine. What do we got draft class-wise? What's it looking like? There is a computer-generated player at the top here. Vyacheslav Zadorov. But Hughes, Capocago, Podkolzin. Of course, I have this draft set up exactly as I wanted it. There are some computer-generated players, obviously, towards the top. But... it's going to be a good draft. Slava Zadorov, indeed. Alright. Well, we need to keep losing games. Otherwise, I got to drop some players out of the lineup here because I prefer to not, make the playoffs this year. That would be nice. I mean, I'd like to think this team isn't good enough to sneak into the playoffs anyway. But you never quite know with how this game works. Could happen. Alright, Mitch. We're going to bring out, we're going to bring Cassian back in. Thoughts on the Capitals' struggles? What's it now? 6 in a row? Ish? 6-ish in a row that they've lost? It's surprising, but I mean, my thoughts are, if I'm a Caps fan, I'm not worried because who cares? We just had a parade last June. So, checking out the box score of the Anaheim game. I'll see. I mean, you wanna link it? Cooper Marody is hurt. All right, so we finished season 1 at 36-40-6, which is not great. Dead last in the division, actually, as every team played 82 games. Yes, they have. McDavid led the team in points at least. So, our goalie right now is Mikko Koskinen. There's a farming sim esports league. I know, I saw Dab share that tweet. It's ridiculous. So, the Pacific Division, LA, actually does well. Because of course they do. Anaheim and San Jose. Calgary, not playoff bound. Arizona, Vancouver, Vegas, and then we finished dead last in the division. So, yeah. You never quite know how this is going to sim. The Central goes to Winnipeg, Nashville, Colorado, St. Louis, and Dallas all make it. You have Minnesota and Chicago just missing out. The Atlantic goes to the Leafs, Tampa, Boston, and Florida all make it. So Ottawa sold and still almost made the playoffs. Detroit, Buffalo, and Montreal way down in the bottom. And the Metro goes to Philly because they traded for Brandon Manning. New Jersey makes it despite selling. Columbus and Washington also make it. So a very disappointing year for Carolina, especially Pittsburgh and the Islanders. We finished 4th bottom in the league. Montreal, Buffalo, the Islanders, Oilers, and Golden Knights are your bottom 5. So we have a pretty damn good chance here at a top pick, which I like. I like it a lot. Let's see what we got here in terms of points. So McDavid at least led the team in points. Still nowhere near where he should be, but again, there's literally nothing you can do about that. Draisaitl broke 60, Nuge broke 50. Chason broke 43 points playing with McDavid, so I'll take that. Spooner did well, Ratty did well. Luch hit 30. $6 million well spent. Brodziak, Cassian on 23. Mitch Callahan had 6 points in 59 games. Puljujarvi only had 5 points in 32. 3 points for Brad Malone, and 3 points for Colby Cave. Defensively, Clefbaum in a decent year. Sekera somehow played the whole year without getting hurt, despite having 70 durability, which, to be honest, is generous for him. Nurse, Russell, Petrovich, and Matt Benning. Like the odds for a top 5 pick. Indeed. How can a goalie who was under 9-10 for almost half the season end up a fucking Vezina finalist? Good question. 70 appearances for Mikko Koskinen, 910 save percentage. Al Montoya was lights out, though. Al Montoya was lights out. All right. Let's see what we got around the league. Rookie race and everything. 87 points was the max. Taylor Hall and Nathan McKinnon, the only players to break 80. Because... just because of the way this game's programmed, man. Alright, I just need to either be fully sick or just not be sick. Like, this half and half thing is killing me here. No real surprising names up there aside from maybe OEL almost being a point a game. No real surprising names. Larkin hit 70. Yeah, no real surprising names. Monk's defenseman, we already know OEL killed it. He was the only defenseman to break 60 points. Goaltenders. The winningest, Quick, Elliott, and Gibson. In terms of save percentage, though, Pekka Rinne with a 934, Hellebuck with a 931, a 930 for Gibson. So Pekka Rinne has probably won the Vezina. Maybe they give it to Gibson off of the ridiculous amount of appearances. And OEL had more points than McDavid because why not? And I think we know who the Calder's going to. Shout out to Kachuk and Svechnikov for putting up a fight. But yeah, Pettersson's going to win the Calder. So, there you go. Alright, so, let's get through the playoffs. because there's really not a whole hell of a lot to look at aside from that. Just first season, pretty straightforward. Move on from a couple of pieces. Slowly but surely try to drag this team out of the depths in which they have been driven into the earth. Just driven into the earth. We're gonna make this happen. Slowly but surely, give it time. We're gonna make this happen. You can't rush success, Edmonton. Clearly. Clearly. It's been 13 years since that 06 Cup run. That's not even what killed you. That's not even what killed you. It's the fact that, what, in 2007 was when Daryl Cates bought the team? Just straight down. Straight down. As you know. I don't have to tell you that. I don't have to tell you that. The big hope here. The big hope here, Ron, I'll just look it up, man. I can see the link is a problem. The big hope here, as the season is over, who is the Stanley Cup going to in year one? My guess is Toronto. Okay, maybe not. A record reset. It should be over. Might be waiting for the AHL. Might be waiting for the AHL. Oh, yes. Yes. Clearly the fix is in. And I have set up these rosters to be totally biased in favor of the Bruins. Clearly. The Bruins win the Cup in year one. It's great. Good stuff. Let's see what the old playoff tree looks like. So Colorado beat Nashville in 6, which is a huge upset. Winnipeg beats Dallas in 7. San Jose beats Anaheim in 6, and the Kings beat St. Louis in 5. Jets beat the Avs in 6. Sharks beat the Kings in 6, and the Sharks sweep Winnipeg to make it to the Cup final. In the East, New Jersey beats Columbus in 6. Florida beats Philly in 6. Boston beats Tampa in 7, and Washington sweeps the Maple Leafs. You have Florida beating New Jersey in 7, Boston beating Washington in 7, the Bruins beat the Panthers in 5, and the Bruins beat the Sharks in 6 to win the Cup. I like it. I don't like it. That means Joe Thornton lost in another Cup final. I don't like that after all. And the Hartford Wolfpack beat the Rockford Ice Hogs in 7 to win the Calder Cup. As far as what this Bruins team looked like, I think it's basically the same team that they had. I don't recall them making any deals. So you have Pasternak, Bergeron, and Marchand all doing well. Rusk did well. David Backes, look at you. Stepping up and being successful. Panthers versus Bruins, 2 versus each. Yeah, it's a reality we all hope to avoid. Oh, man. I mean, their team is exactly the same. Defensively, exactly the same. It's got to be the goaltending. Tuukka Rask with a 929. They didn't make a single change, and they win the Cup. I'll take it. I'll take it. So the Bruins win the Cup in year one. Jets win the President's Trophy. Taylor Hall wins the Art Ross and the Hart in consecutive years, which is ridiculous. Norris goes to OEL. Lady Bigna McKinnon, the Calder to Pedersen. Conn Smythe to Tuukka Rask. Brings the tear to the eye. Vezina to John Gibson, based off of the games played purely. Renee Jennings, Jordy Ben, the Masterton. Selke to Ryan O'Reilly. Taylor Hall to Ted Lindsay. The Rocket Richard to Nathan McKinnon. In terms of the AHL, Tomas Hika put up the most points and was league MVP. Danny O'Regan put up the most goals. Adam Gaudette was the top rookie. Victor Mete, the top defenseman. And Jeremy Smith, the best goaltender. MVP of the playoffs, Dustin Tokarski. Dustin Tokarski. Not bad. Not bad. All right. Big moment here. Big moment here. Boston's beaten Washington. Yeah, well, that's what happens. All the Leafs fans talking about, we want to slay the Boston Dragon in the playoffs. Meanwhile, the Bruins, in this sim, went on to slay their own dragon, known as the Capitals. Mainly Braden Holtby, who has just absolutely dominated the Bruins since 2012. We need some good lottery luck here, is what we need. Hoping for the best. We need a break with the lottery, please. Well, we didn't get a break. We actually lost the lottery and have fallen from 4th to 6th. Colorado, thanks to the Ottawa Senators, wins the lottery. Also known as Daig's worst nightmare. So we fall to 6th. Carolina and Buffalo, I believe, also won. So that sucks. Oh, boy. All right. So that's a little bit rocky. We can overcome it, though. Obviously, someone like Jack Hughes is going to go number 1. I think we'll be looking at... I don't even know who we're going to be looking at as far as who's going to be available. As Kunitz calls it a career. Derek McKenzie. How about on defense? Tom Gilbert, Brooks Orpik. And in goal, Nick Backstrom, the greatest. Peter Budaj. I'll call it a career. Chris Kunitz has become a scout. To the draft we go. Again, we'll open up the... Actually, I don't think I'm going to have the trade block be completely open because I never get offers throughout the course of a draft if I completely open up the block. So, did Ottawa finish first team out of a playoff spot? I think so. So yeah, they... yeah, that's right. They were very close to making the playoffs. So, they absolutely won the lottery. It wasn't like they were dead last anyway. Like, no. There was a jump there to make that, to make that work, to make that happen. All right. So, surplus is a viewer picks. Now, see, that was the debatable point. That was the debatable point as to whether or not this was going to be viewer picks. And I'm tempted to say yes. But, I don't know. If we don't do viewer picks here, it's going to be a viewer pick draft later on this, later on. So, we'll see. Ron, I at least have that open. 32 shots to 13 for the Blues over the Ducks. That's just not fun. So as far as surplus is concerned, let's go to try and let the AI actually do something. We'll say anybody 18 and up. Just to see if that changes it, because I feel like 17 and up, you never... it was supposed to be a defenseman. You never get offers. You never get offers, and it really sucks. It really sucks. Alright, and for goalers... Getting bumped it up to 18. We should be fine. Alright, let's see what we can do. And as far as viewer picks are concerned, I'll have that be Pyro's call. But the problem is, I do still want this to flow relatively quickly. I think what we'll do is I'll narrow it down and have you guys decide between a group of players rather than having it be just outright viewer pick. How's that sound? So it'll be a 50-50. It'll be a 50-50. I'll label it down to, hey, these are the players we could take. You guys will make the ultimate decision. Kind of like Daryl Cates saying, hey, let's take Yakupov instead of Ryan Murray, even though all of my scouting department says take Ryan Murray, except for like 2 people. So, to the draft we go. Jonathan Taves, Ellie Tolvanen, and Shattenkirk all being shopped. Colorado, with the number 1 pick, take Jack Hughes. No surprise. Of course, because I've pretty much set up this draft to unfold like it should. Capo Caco goes second to the Carolina Hurricanes. Buffalo takes that computer-generated Zadorov third. Montreal with the 4th pick take Vasily Podkolzin. And the Islanders with the 5th pick, meaning at least someone who was projected to go in the top 5 will be available to us. Dylan Cousins goes 5th. So, with the 6th pick, we have Kirby Dach available. I mean, it should be Kirby Dach. I'm just saying. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Kirby Dach, I can tell you, is medium elite, right? And again, if we don't do, we're not doing legitimate full-on viewer picks here. We'll do that later on this year. Kirby Dach's available, right? I can tell you right now, Bowen Byram's high top 4 because that's what I made him. Here's the thing. we either take Kirby Dach, we take Bowen Byram as the best defenseman left in this draft, or we take the computer-generated Pekka Petäinen, the Petäinen, who would have been a top 5 pick if it wasn't for all the computer-generated stuff. So, we can have Kirby Dach, who is A's across the board with 4 A minuses. We could take Bowen Byram, who, again, I promise you is high top 4. He's the best defenseman in this draft, though. Or we take the computer-generated Pekka Petäinen, who is a little bit better than Kirby Dach. Just a little bit. You have Teemu Selanne as a scout. Well, you know, it's not Teemu, though. It's like Tarku. So, here's the deal. We're going straw poll on this. It is either going to be Kirby Dach, Bowen Byram, or Petäinen. I don't think anybody else can really, you know, provide much of an argument. So, there is that. Vote in that poll. Don't click the last one, though, because I obviously botched the link. And we will see this play out in real time. Who's gonna win it? It's looking like it's gonna be the Finn, unless Kirby Dach can fight back here. It's getting close. It's getting close. Kirby Dach, you might be done. I think it's been decided. Unless there's a late comeback for Kirby Dach. If Petäinen hits 20, that's probably gonna be it. Kirby, can you fight back? Has it slowed down enough? I think that's it. That's the death knell. Kirby will not be the pick. It will be Pekka Petäinen, the Petäinen, more than likely, who, again, would have been a top 5 pick had it not been for all the computer-generated players. So, he and Puljujarvi could be a hell of a combo. He is an 80 overall medium elite, which is beautiful. 18 years old, playing in Liga, very well-rounded as a two-way like you'd expect. Not too bad. Perhaps the future 2C, and probably our 3C next season. So that is a pretty damn good pickup for us, especially with us falling to the 6th pick. The real question now, of course, is what the hell do we do with Milan Lucic? That's the question, right? Goaltending-wise, we're still set up for the moment. We have Rodrigue. We'll still probably look for a goalie at some point in this draft. Defensively, there's no one really on the fringe that we could look to ship. I mean, Andrei Sekera, maybe. But even then, I don't think we'd be able to trade him. I think we're kind of stuck with him. It's just, do we try to get rid of Lucic, as you can see Petäinen's value? Do we try to get rid of Luch? Maybe we wait to see how much the buyout is, but he actually dropped in an overall point at the end of the year. So, oh boy. I don't know. Can you let the Rangers fleece the Oilers one more time for good measure, right? I think maybe we explored trading Lucic at the beginning of free agency. He's not going anywhere for now, so unless we get an offer, I think we're good. So, let's move forward, see if we get a trade offer. We do not, of course. So the rest of the first round was Matt Boldy to Vegas. Kirby Dach ended up falling to the 8th pick with the Islanders. So the Islanders get Dylan Cousins and Kirby Dach, which is nuts. Raphael Lavoie to Detroit. Bowen Byram goes 10th to Vancouver. Cam York to Arizona. Trevor Zegras to Calgary. Spiller's computer generated. Ryan Suzuki to Chicago. Peyton Krebs to Minnesota. Alex Turcotte to Washington. Cole Caulfield to Columbus. Philip Broberg to New Jersey. Alex Newhook to to Dallas, I should say. Let's see. McCann's computer generated. 66 overall. Matt Robertson to Ottawa. Victor Soderstrom to Colorado. Arthur Kaliev to Tampa. That's a really good pickup for Tampa. Nikolaev to New Jersey. So New Jersey's having a decent little draft with Broberg and Nikolaev. Jakob Pelletier to Los Angeles. Dorofeyev to Philly. Bjorn Fott to Buffalo. Moritz Cedar to Florida. Anthony Honka. Nolan Foote. And John Beecher. So there's that. Any goalies you can grab in the draft. Here's the thing. If Spencer Knight is not off the board at the start of the second round, we're going to be looking pretty damn good. So that's the big question. Is Spencer Knight off the board? He is not. So you guys have a very tough decision to make as Bobby Brink goes to Montreal, Samuel Poulin, and Thomas Harley. So a good start to the second round for Montreal. We are going to have the only medium elite goalie in the draft available here to us right now. As I'll show you the goalies that we have available. Again, Spencer Knight is the number 1 goalie in this draft. I know for a fact. Obviously, I made him. He is medium elite. Hunter Jones and Mads Sjøgaard are also solid. Not medium elites, though. Amongst defensemen still available. And just to give you a look at when our next pick is after this, it is 15th. So, we do have 2 second-round picks. So, amongst the defensemen, like there is someone here like Shannon Graham who might be really good. We don't have that confirmation. Hedman comparison, though. He looks to be the best available still. So, again, we're going back to the straw poll with this. So, just to give you guys a look at who is available. But Spencer Knight is an option. The Norwegian Graham, also an option. And then amongst the forwards, we had a confirmed medium elite, Louis Ambul, out of Germany, who not quite as strong, but he is still a medium elite. So, and then Mika Petrell, also not that bad, but we don't know for a fact he's a medium elite. And I know for a fact he's not that good. So, I can confirm that to you already. So, I think we have our 3. I think we have our 3. I'm fairly certain Spencer Knight's going to win. Fairly certain. It's still worth looking, though. We'll see how this goes. Will it be the medium elite Ambul? No, it will not. It was still worth putting it up to a vote. Like, that's, like, I'm not going to compare this vote to, like, oh, yeah, let's vote for a president in North Korea. I wonder who's going to win. I'm not equating this to a Russian election. I'm just saying, though, it had to be done for the sake of paperwork. We are taking Spencer Knight here in the second round. It is not a debate. Spencer Knight, goalie for the future for the Edmonton Oilers. Let's do it. The top goalie in this draft. 65 overall, medium elite for the 18-year-old. A decent start. Koskinen's better than Knight. Well, for now. Not for much longer. So again, we have the 15th pick in this draft. And we'll see who else was drafted here. So Ambul ended up going to Pittsburgh. He was a 65. Graham was a 74, medium top 4. So, see, I believe that's Blake Murray. Is it Blake Murray? Yeah, it's Blake Murray. Petrell's computer-generated. Xavier Simonel. Butsayev. Mills, who's computer-generated. Josh Williams to the Islanders. I can't. And Heinola. So who do we still have here? Who do we still have on the board at this point? Obviously, goalies aren't as big of a concern. Our scouts struggled, which isn't all that surprising, given some of their lack of experience. But our scouts really struggled. And this could end up being just a complete toss-up. Just a complete toss-up for who the hell we look for here. Jake Lee, Ronnie Primo, it's computer-generated. So he might be the safer bet for the fact that he's computer-generated. Golmoberg, Bukaj, Mitch Brewer. It's a complete toss-up on this one, man. It is a complete toss-up. Nathan Staios is there. Our scouts had a really rough time. But that's because we haven't gotten rid of every Edmonton scout yet. So clearly we're still struggling. Ole Janssen. Well, if we put it this way, right? We've taken a forward, we've taken a goalie. We should probably look at a defenseman. Seeing as the majority of these forwards here, it's a bit of a toss-up between medium nines at this point, as my controller might be quitting out on me here. Like, Ronnie Primo might have a decent potential, but it is a complete toss-up on all of these. So, amongst the defensemen, especially for who's actually projected to go relatively high, there's not one particular standout, and it's still a little bit too early to be sorting by projection or potential. Still just a tad bit too early for that. Bruins are beast. He's not wrong. I mean, if we were to look here for the best of the defensemen, right? Shitload of medium elites. Again, our scouting staff hasn't been completely reworked, so we don't have a ton to go off of here, unfortunately. It's a little bit rough. Lithuanian, there's my vote. Right? You got Prohorkin. The old Prohorkin, who's just terrible. Yeah, it's going to be a rough part here in this draft. I know that there's some low fours coming up. It's tough to tell what these guys are going to be. You're comparing almost defense. No, wait. You're comparing almost definite to hopefuls are definitely not going to play. Oh, geez, you need to reword that. I get what you mean, but you need to reword it. As we got to call the time out here. There's not a clear pick. Opinion on the Habs prospect pool. It's strong. The end. Okay, here's the thing. I have an idea. I have an idea for what we do here when there's no clear definitive answer, right? Because I don't think there is, based off of projections. Again, we can sit here. The problem is, again, our scouting department's super weak right now, right? So it's like, Cal McCoff's not that good because he's a real player. Here's my suggestion, and it's basically what I'm going to do. Although there is a low elite gem, but we can get him later on. Yeah, you know what? I think I like this idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into Daryl Cates mode. Meaning I'm going to let the AI pick because of owner meddling. Can't decide between Ryan Murray and Nail Yakupov? Screw you, you're taking Nail Yakupov. Because I'm Daryl Cates and I said so. So, at a time like this, we're just going to let Daryl Cates make the pick. Our owner has put his foot down, and we must take who he wants us to take. So, Mr. Cates, take it away. Nikita Okhotyuk. Okay. Well, on the bright side, he did take a defenseman. Not that great in terms of potential at the moment. But, that's fine, because that's how drafts play out with prospects. We'll get better players in the 3rd and 4th round. So, Nikita Okhotyuk. There you go. The realism. I know, it's out of control, isn't it? Oh, boy. So, like I said, I know the 3rd round's going to be a little bit better. Outside of the holdovers from the 1st round that should have been there, it's going to pick up later on. So, we at least get a defensive prospect. Forever Gurdiev, indeed. Yeah, so we're definitely in medium 9, medium 6 territory. Again, it's going to pick up in the 3rd and 4th round. I know how the drafts work at this point with enough added-in players, so it's all good. So we have the 3rd pick of the 3rd round. Let's see who is on the board. Mikhail Abramov, who I know isn't that good. I don't remember how good Oleg Zaitsev is. I think we're still in that territory of... I'm trying to think of how to word this. Of just having to fight through a lot of the AI, the weird way that the AI organizes the draft when you add in as many computer players as you do. Again, I'm not going to take Jones or Sjogard. I'm not going to goalie hoard at this point. Low 6 and Guskov. Not ideal. Sasha Mutala. Actually, not sure how good he's. Not sure. Is Janssen real? Janssen, I don't believe is real. So he is the most interesting prospect at this point. Because aside from that, it's a toss-up here. Especially with you. He's real. He does play for the Flint Firebirds. Alvin Gruedge or Joe Carroll. Brennan Gogol is not real. No guarantees of how good he's going to be, though. It might not be the worst idea to just start going off the board. Because like I said, the first year draft is very, very weird. Especially when you can't, especially when you don't fire your scouting department. Tag Bertuzzi. I'm gonna mark Tag Bertuzzi for the hell of it. But like obviously Duncan Penman's not gonna be medium elite, However, I do know Lassie Thompson and Alex Vlasic are low 4s. So that's in terms of real world players. Those are the ones that would be looking the best at this point. Yeah, I was gonna say it's so weird how the AI. So yeah, Connor McMichael gets dropped way the hell down here just because of the way it goes. So it's gonna pick up in the next round or two. Like Innes is obviously not medium elite. There's the Gem and Holstrom. He's real as well. And Brett Leeson is coming up. So I'm undecided. I think we will go for Janssen. at this point. He's the only one. Ole Janssen, Rogel. Let's just make the pick, see what happens. Not bad for a computer-generated player at this stage. Medium top 6, 63. I will take it. Ole Janssen, welcome. There just simply wasn't enough time for the viewer option at that point. Swap 4th round picks, pick up a 5th round pick next year. Yes, please. No problem. Tag Bertuzzi ended up going to Carolina. Yeah, we need to completely overhaul our scouting department heading into next season. I should have done that in full. I just wanted to make sure that we had 20 signed. Should have gone the extra way. So, let's see. Who else did we have here? So, Hunter Jones went to Detroit. And Shogard went to Arizona. So, the top 3 goalies in the draft are off the board again. We've taken Patinen, who was computer-generated, Spencer Knight, Nikita Hotyuk, and Janssen. Eggenberger off the board. And now we're starting to see a lot more of the low 6s, low 4s appear in this stage of the draft. So, let's see who's available for us here. Do you think 700 rank and CS should be able to keep me in the top 1K? I'm not the guy to ask about CS, man. I don't care. I try to live my life somewhat stress-free. CS isn't a part of it. Alright, I think at this point, it might just be worth trying to find the top AI-generated players. There's a lot of real-world players, unless people wanted me to take Brett Leeson, who's not. I put him at like a medium 9. Yeah, let's just try to find the best generated players here. Taking the real-world players is nice, but a lot of them aren't going to work out for us. Jesus Christ, if Rostowire's actually anywhere near that good. Innes is real. 99% sure you're real. Colton Ellis is obviously real. Doug Commodore is not. B's and C's? Not too bad. Taylor Gauthier, Christian Hedman. Not looking that good. Hector Friesen, Walter Malhotra. Just complete crapshoots. Then there is Ralph Penner, who's probably worth taking. Ben Brinkman is real. Grayson Ladd's real. Ryan Johnson's real. All of these players are real, and they just get bumped down to the end of the draft. Oleg Voinov with a good shooting category. Might be a 2-way or a power forward, potentially a grinder. Gotta sneeze again. Like I said, if I could just get fully sick already to the point where I don't feel like streaming, that would be cool. Rather than this half and half nonsense. Am I going to be streaming tomorrow? Unless I'm fully sick. Yeah. Alright. I'm going to call this other timeout here. See who we can find from the best computer-generated players. So, we have our little short list here. And I think more than likely, we take Penner to be safe, although Dwyer and Nabokov are the next two who are most likely to be drafted. So, Nabokov, more than likely a decent medium 6. Ross Dwyer, we need to make, yeah, we need to go for Dwyer. Please be good. I blame Edmonton's starting scouting department. I blame the scouting department, damn it. And unfortunately, I think that other guy is off the board, isn't he? He is. So, we'll go for Ralph Penner, the low elite gem at this point. It was a 57. It's not too bad. Where did Leeson end up getting drafted to? Oh, Brett. Mr. Leeson goes to Vegas. Made him a 70 and a medium 9, which is more than fair for an overager who's tearing up the league. So Penner's a pretty decent pick for us. I'm going to try to make all of these picks just to get something into the system too, because we don't have a whole hell of a lot in the system right now. Might go for Bonks here. Just with him being a bit of a guarantee. Let's do that. Alvin! Is there saving Edmonton? I mean, I'm certainly going to try, but Bonks being a 48 doesn't exactly help. But we're going to make this happen. Slow and steady. Let's see who else was on the board here. So between you three, that A's shooting, there's one defenseman left, so I'm going to take him. Let's take Doug Commodore. Okay, yeah. So don't let me forget. Don't let me forget to completely change over the scouting department, because this is brutal. This was brutal. I should have. And we'll take Voynov for the sake of that shooting category. Ends up being a low 9. Yikes. Yikes. Bruins, take it easy, man. So that'll end our first draft. And overall, it went well. I think you guys went the right way with Patinen and Spencer Knight. And then, of course, from there, Janssen was kind of the one standout. Janssen was the one standout. But that is how the first round went. I'll let you look over that because there's at least the most familiar names. I really need to go blow my nose because holy hell, do I feel sick. It's brutal. I hate it. Oh, goodness. Goodness. Talbot better than Knight. Debatable. Very much debatable. Very much debatable. How many points did McDavid finish with? Like 66? It wasn't all that impressive, I can promise you that much. Wasn't all that impressive, as a couple of scout contracts have expired. I don't care. I do not care. Let's do this. I at least want to get to the start of next season and take a look at everyone's starting lineups. So let's see what we got. Turtle, what's going on, man? What's going on? So goaltending at this point, we're going to let go of Al Montoya for now, even though he was really good last year. We'll find somebody else. Hayden Hockey, I don't know if I'm ever going to sign. Shane Starrett can go. No need to sign Rodrigue yet or Spencer Knight. Might sign Hayden Hockey, but he's not going to get that much better. So we'll leave him alone for now. Defensively, Petrovic, one of Petey's big mistakes. You can leave. Kevin Gravel, you're not terrible, but you can leave. Ryan Stanton, you can leave. Evan Bouchard, I'm not going to sign yet. Of course, in real life, he's under a contract. In this game, I can't have him under a contract. It's weird. I explained it in the roster editing spectacular video. Robin Norrell, you can leave. Person, you can leave. Ryan Mantha, you can leave. Niemelainen and Samorukov, you guys can both leave. Just it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. From there, we leave everybody else unsigned. And for forwards, Alex Chason, go get paid somewhere else. Puljujarvi needs a deal. Patinen needs to be signed. Ty Ratty, you're gone. Come on. Let's not act like Ty Ratty is what we need. Brad Malone, get out of here. Joey Gambardella, no. Mitch Callahan, no. Everybody leave. Patrick Russell, get out. We will be signing this dude that we picked up from the Blue Jackets in the Talbot trade. Vessel, you can leave. Maximoff and Ostap Safin, the Safin. I feel like are both going to be pretty decent. I'll probably sign them to help fill out the AHL roster. Colin Larkin, the best Larkin, he can go. And that's that. Okay, cool. So, a lot of roster turnover in that we've gotten rid of quite a few players that we just didn't need. Puljujarvi, we are going to offer you a deal. He's not looking for that much. Yeah, we'll sign him to what he's looking for now. Could have bumped it up a little bit more. Maximoff and Ostap Safin, we'll sign them both as well. Medium 9's not amazing, but they're both decent overalls for their age group. So, there we go. Quick and easy. It's pretty simple when all you have to do is get rid of a whole bunch of nothing. No offense to Brad Malone and Alex Chason. Puljujarvi signs, Maximoff, Safin, Tessier, and we're good. We're good. Let me double check the scouting department. I'm pretty much going to fire every single scout we have. I mean, yeah, look at all the Jesus Christ. That was my big mistake for Season 1, is not getting rid of everybody. Would you like to release the scout? Boy, that's an understatement. That's an understatement. Let's just, anybody under a B-, get off of this team, for the love of God. I didn't realize it was that bad. Very, very kind of EA to have an accurate scouting department for the Oilers, though. Very kind of them. Just D overalls everywhere. So, yeah, whole new scouting department. Patinen I'm going to end up signing once I double-check what everything else looks like. But you're right, I didn't end up signing him then and there. Could've. Maybe should've. And actually, were there any of my other scouts on expiring deals? Yes, Lindgren. I thought so. Julia, do not leave. Is Julia a common name in Sweden? Well, then again, Lindgren's not totally Swedish, Ryan Lindgren. Never mind, Julia. Never mind. I am wrong. Sorry. Never said I was perfect. So yeah, Patinen. Sign him up. Everybody else can stay. Yeah, McLeod and Bouchard are both junior eligible, so we're not too concerned. Patinen has signed. Welcome to Edmonton, which I know, scary phrase, right? I know, but give it time. Give it time, and we'll see what happens. I mean, they scouted and drafted McDavid. They sure did. So, big thing to check here first. Any trades at the draft and what's going to happen with Braden Point. Apparently nothing. Apparently no trades. So let's take a look at the free agent class, although I was going to check the Lucic buyout, and I didn't. Shit. I knew I was forgetting to do something. I blame going to blow my nose on that. Shit. I knew I forgot to do something. That's alright. That's alright. We can still explore trading Lucic. We could buy him out later. Let's be honest, it's not the end of the world. Even though I only have $10 million in cap space because of some of these contracts. Yikes. So Braden Point, Joe Pavelski, Matt Duchene. Wow, Duchene hit the open market after Anaheim gave up 2 first-round picks and Isaac Lundstrom for him. Oh, Anaheim. We should totally bring back Jordan Eberle. Alright, so amongst the goaltenders, not that we, well, I mean, we do kind of need one. Jimmy Howard, Robin Leonard, and Cam Talbot ended up hitting free agency, so Columbus kept Bobrovsky. We do need another goalie this year. Robin Leonard might be a decent shout, but the problem is we don't want to win. And I pretty much have to go with Koskinen as our starter. We're paying him starter money. It's going to be tough to deal him without retaining cap. Or just completely losing the trade. So I'm alright with sucking for a couple of years to make this happen. Do we have any prospects? Ian Scott hits the open market. As does Jorn Van Pottelberg. Well, that's fairly obvious. Then of Toronto. Now here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. That people are going to be like, why the hell is he a free agent? Strike Force Tim. Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful, wonderful Prime sub. Now to allow me to take a second from saying thank you, to explain why Ian Scott's hitting the open market, right? Real life Toronto signs him. Unfortunately, he is on this fine thing known as an exemption list, where if you leave him signed and everybody else that's on the exemption list in real life, teams will have to get rid of players, and yeah, basically, there's a real life exemption list with contracts where players don't count towards the 50-man limit. EA did not factor that into franchise mode programming. So, you might have an example of something like this happen. It sucks, but yeah. We're the beneficiaries of it. I will gladly sign Ian Scott. Well, in fairness, there's no guarantees we get him. We can just throw our name into the hat. And in terms of who I want as a backup this year, Rittich would work. Anders Nilsson. And Colin Delia. Rittich, looking for 2 years. I don't think we're going to have a backup goalie ready in that time. Rittich. I'm alright with a Koskinen-Rittich tandem. And also, just to piss off Calgary, let's throw our names into the hat with Rittich. Amongst the defense, top defensemen, Strawman, Gardner, Myers. Nobody that I really want to throw a bunch of money to. So, prospect-wise, Zachary Lauzon, not Jeremy. So Pittsburgh's Zachary Lauzon hits the open market. We'll throw our name into the hat for that. See if we can pick him up. Nobody else I'm really worried about. So not a ton of these prospects though have hit the open market. We'll check with forwards though. Yep, there you go, Montreal. I'm gonna try to sign him, obviously, but Jesus Christ, Montreal. Here's the thing, again, we've discovered this. You can't, it's pronounced Reddick, not Redditch, okay, noted, I'll still get it wrong. You can't stop the AI from being stupid. And the problem is, the AI at times is quite stupid. Because I guarantee Montreal has both roster space and cap space to sign him. You can't stop the AI from just being outright stupid sometimes. There's nothing you can change on your part to stop the AI GMs from letting go of a Nick Suzuki. Nothing you can do. So we will throw our name into that hat. Sergachev. What a guy. So we'll throw our name into that hat. No guarantees that we get him, as the Islanders and Red Wings have also thrown out offers. But it'll be up to him. It's a complete spin of the wheel. Andreas Jansson's an RFA. We're not going to worry about that. Anthony Duclair is a UFA. Montreal also let go of Yanni Ikonen. So I'll gladly try to take advantage of that too. Because again, the Habs, not the smartest. Tempted to send an offer out to Duclair. He's not going to get that much better though. 29 points last year. I'll take a look at the roster in a second. Poirier. Isaac Ratcliffe has also hit the open market. So we'll send an offer to him. And then again, someone like Curtis Lazar does get a decent bit of an overall bump in terms of, like, he's a decent fourth liner now, at best. Like, he's literally a depth forward, so that's not a big deal. It's just whether or not we want to go for Anthony Duclair. Because we have $10 million available, and I'm going to be very conservative with it. Let's double check the team. So I think it is for the best for us to waste some prime years of Connor McDavid here. And just suck. At least until we can get some of these contracts off the books. The problem is, it's kind of hard to suck when you have McDavid and Draisaitl on your team. So forward-wise, so we have our 9, 10, 11, and 12. Yeah, we do need some forwards. What do I sign? Prospects at free agency, trade them back to their old team. Yeah, I mean, that can happen. I just don't prefer to, because then again, you get in trouble with the AI for being like, don't trade away players that you just signed recently, because, you know, it's like, well, I'm trying to stop the game from making its own mistakes, man. It is what it is, though. Kyler's probably going to be an AHLer for us next year. So we have fourth line, third line. Okay, so we just flat out need third liners. Yeah, we basically need to build a third line. Tank for Lafreniere, right? I don't even think we have to necessarily tank. But we are going to try to sign 3 random forwards just to fill out the roster. Dump Duclair, or Duclair bumped to an 82. It's not bad. Alright, so. In terms of overall, I'm looking for cheap options that we don't have to commit to for all that long. Pominville at 36 could play a role for us. He's a little bit more expensive than I'd prefer. But it literally could be sign Pominville and deal him. He's not looking for all that much. Troy Brower's looking for a 1-year deal. We could bring back Patrick Maroon. Carl Hagelin, Chason. I'm unsure about Pominville. Aside from that, though, I want to bring in a little bit more speed. Hagelin played 33 games last year. Not going to risk signing you if you're proven to be... How did he... maybe he was a scratch because his durability is not that bad. Kevin Hayes. I don't even want to bring in Kevin Hayes for 2 years. Although it's not that bad. 2 years isn't that bad. But the problem is we have a shitload of center depth already. He doesn't really fit. I think we are going to bring in Hagelin. I think he was just a healthy scratch the prior year. It's overpaying him a little bit, but we could deal him if we have to. The flipper. I'm alright with giving Duclair a chance as well. We'll see if Duclair is up for that. That's pretty cheap money. And then Jordan Martinook. Ty Ratty wants a 3-year deal. Imagine. Good enough for my Canucks franchise. Best for Barzal, 2 forwards in the 5th. Do I take it? I mean, not unless you want to play Barzal on the wing. I think I might hold off here on signing anybody else aside from those two, just to see what we end up getting in terms of progression for Kyler. So let's move forward a little bit as we try to just pick off a couple of prospects from other teams. I have to take it. I have to take it. If it's the AI being dumb, I have to take it, right? Chris Russell, a 4th and a 5th for a 2nd-round pick from Dallas. I have to take it just to get rid of Russell. I have to. Like, I might stop Dallas from being dumb. Does it at least make sense for them? Does it at least make sense for you to trade for Chris Russell? It does. You need one more NHL defenseman. All right, we're going to take it. They need another NHL defenseman. They want to trade for Chris Russell. Who am I to say no? Who am I to say no? We'll try to add a little bit onto it. Try and get a 6th-round pick this year. Chris Russell to Dallas. They wanted him. Suzuki accepted. Zachary Lozon went to Arizona. Stop the sim, please, because I forgot to sign scouts. Fuck. There we go. I keep forgetting about the scouts. Just because, you know, like in the other series, you know, Vegas, California, like I already have it set up, and it's been set up for years, so I haven't had to worry about it. Good thing is, it doesn't look like I missed out on anybody. Other teams interested. Well, screw you, Phillies. Coming here. Oh, this is going to take forever. This is going to take forever. Alright, here. I need to sort this by regions. That way it has less to load up. That's what really slows it down. Just anybody at B- or better, I'm sending an offer to. Anybody B- or better, we'll send an offer to. So yeah, quick little trick there to have this process go a little bit faster. Not by much, but a little bit. It is frustrating how long it takes to load. Takes forever, man. It takes forever. I'm really excited, though, to see what the other team lineups look like heading into next season. Not just for the moves that were made, but who progresses by the end of that first year. It was interesting when we did the test runs for this. Easy for me to say, with how the lineups changed over years, over the years, how the players progressed, and I've made more changes since. Hey, Chris Kunitz, an A- scout. Good on EA to give Chris Kunitz a good rating once he retires. I think that's correct. Chris Kunitz probably would be a really good scout. Just for how versatile of a player he was. Alright, I don't even know how many offers we've sent out, but I need to keep sending them out. All of those B-grade scouts, we need to hire everybody. We basically fired the entire scouting department. So, we'll see. Kunitz really just ended the Senators franchise and dipped. Pretty much. Tiny Schwarz. Good old Tiny Schwarz. Is that Daniil Ovechkin, I'm guessing? Dimitri. I was close. It's like, what generic name are they going to give to him? Please tell me this is Jacob Markstrom. Please. Julia. So many Julias. Now, I know people give me, shit for pick hoarding. But if I Julia hoard, is that a negative? Am I allowed to hoard Julias without an issue? That just, in a non-human trafficking way. Alright, I don't even want to sign C Scouts if I don't have to, so. Let's take a look at some of the signings, not some of the scouting. So just Lozon and Suzuki have signed. That's a big get for us, though, to get Nick Suzuki, and a huge, huge loss for Montreal to be that dumb. So as far as the team's defense is concerned, McDavid only 66 points. Indeed. But again, there's literally nothing you can do as a user player to influence what happens in the sim. It's behind-the-scenes programming that you can't change. I think we're good, actually. I'm going to see how Ethan Bear and Caleb Jones develop. And potentially not sign anybody else. We'll take it from there. We'll take it from there. So let's see. We have other offers out. David Riddick has signed. Anthony Duclair goes back to the Rangers, which is unfortunate. Carl Hagelin has signed. Isaac Ratcliffe, Ian Scott, Yanni Ikonen. And we got an offer, a 5th-round pick for Brad Richardson. It's going to be a no from me, dog. So, not bad in terms of the targets that we had with free agents. I think Duclair was the only one to really reject, and Lozon. What's the best option for div rivals? 3 tradable or 6 untradeable? I mean, probably the tradable. Just because if you get something good, I just realized it's already 130. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Life comes at you fast, man. Life comes at you fast. Especially when you're, you know, Peter Chiarelli. It's like, hey, you're out of a job. That was quick. No, really, it wasn't. That process lasted a long time. I do need to set up the block here. Once. Don't you tell me what I want, EA. I'll set up my trade block. Wow, so actually, in fairness, that worked out for us really well. Because the game put Chris Russell on the block for me post-draft, and it was perfect. That's what led to that trade. You know what's funny, though, is I say I like to set up the trade block to try and not take advantage of the AI, and then they still send me the dumbest trade offers. Oh, boy. Forgot to add that. So we'll see what other offers we get. We'll take a look to see where the big names go as well. We'll still end up having to sign people. It's just a matter of when. As hopefully all of these scouts except... Oh, God. Chris Kunitz is signed with us. What was the trade? Chris Russell for draft picks, essentially. Or Chris Russell with draft picks for other draft picks. 2 second-round picks and Ryan Spooner for Max Jones and Josh Mahora. I'm going to have to say no to that. I like both of those players on Anaheim, but we need those picks. Ladislav Barteko has signed in Calgary. Another Julia. Another Julia. Jesus, take it easy. The Jesus to the mice. To the meese. Take it easy, buddy. So many scouts. Oh my God, another Julia. Just get it over with. Rainier Ullman goes to the Leafs. Another Julia. So many Julias. Alright, let's see if we can double check any of the signings. Ikonen in a second for Grunstrom. I'm going to say no to that. I'd prefer to keep that pick. So, let's see what other contracts have been signed. Kulak to Montreal. Bouwmeester to the Rangers. Cam Ward back to Chicago. Patrick Maroon back to the Devils. Beaulieu to Detroit. Gunnarsson to Tampa. Jan Ruda back to Chicago. Carter Verhaeghe back to Tampa. Janmark to New Jersey. Igor Ozhiganov to Vegas. Kincaid to Colorado. Chason to Minnesota. Richard Panik to Buffalo. Adam McQuaid to Dallas. Michael Del Zotto to the Rangers. Peter Mrazek to Montreal. Brian Boyle to Columbus. Brett Connolly to the Islanders. Ben Sherratt to Columbus. Ron Hainsey to Detroit. Pominville to St. Louis. Jimmy Howard to the Devils. Flipper to Florida. Brickley stays in Los Angeles. Dan Girardi to Ottawa. Talbot to Vegas. Jordy Ben and Jordan Eberle to Arizona. Matt Duchene to Vancouver for 7 years. Pedersen, Horvat, Duchene. Jesus Christ. And of course we signed Hagelin, Riddick, Ben Thomas to Tampa. Ben Lovejoy to Washington. Brouwer to the Rangers. Petrovich and Coburn to Minnesota. Nick Jensen to Florida. Duclair, of course, went back to the Rangers. Donskoy to Arizona. Kevin Hayes back to the Rangers. Silverberg to Colorado. Tyler Myers to Dallas on a 5-year deal. Strawman to Florida on a 6-year deal. Gardner to Buffalo for 4 years. That's that. Nicholas Hansen was a cheat code in NHL 18. Was a cheat code or similar to what we see with players where they still, like, there's a chance someone like Curtis McElhinney is going to go up to an 87. That type of cheat code or just weird programming? Well, we'll see if they need a defenseman, but I will gladly trade Matt Benning to move from the second round to the first round. Gladly. Gladly. Oh, Tampa. Especially when you don't even have the money to sign Braden Point still. Do you need a defenseman? You need another defenseman. Because you're in cap hell, and the AI doesn't know how to handle it. And I'm not going to help you. I will gladly move up into the first round in exchange for Matt Benning. God, there's no way to not rip off the AI, because they rip themselves off. So Matt Benning and a second for a first and a fifth. We have an extra first-round pick in the new year. Reed Boucher in NHL 13, 40 goal scorer all the time. That's true. That is true. Lucas Spiza to the Blues. Nice. And we have another trade that was outside of what we did. Sammy Vatanen, Patrick Maroon, who just re-signed in New Jersey, and a fourth dealt to Vegas for Puljujarvi, who was just drafted in 2 seconds. So Vatanen to Vegas. Lucas Spiza to St. Louis. Nick Dowd to Montreal. Eric Fair to Dallas. Folan and Jordan Binnington to Anaheim. Schuster to Nashville. Ryan Mantha to Washington. Let's see. Matt Strome to Vegas. So Philly didn't sign him. Yaskin to Carolina. Derek Grant to Chicago. Raffle and Schnarr. And Ottawa has successfully signed Braden Point via offer sheet. They get a king's ransom. A king's ransom for Matt Duchene, 2 first-round picks and a prospect. And then, 4 first-round picks for Braden Point. 4 first-round picks for Braden Point. So they give up, again, they get a nice haul back for Duchene, and then because they have the security net from the Ducks picks, they give up 4 first-round picks to get Braden Point from Ottawa, or from Tampa. Braden Point to Ottawa. I think that's the second time we've seen that happen. Toronto signs Joakim Ryan, Anders Nilsson to St. Louis, Freddie Claesson to Toronto, Matt Bartkowski to Toronto, DSP to Buffalo, Malcolm Subban to Chicago, Levo stays in Vancouver, Slater Cuckoo, Oscar Lindbergh, Brandon Tanev, Martinook to LA, Ty Ratty goes to Vegas, Stalock, Pickard, Blandisi, Curtis Lazar to Montreal, Sanford, Engelland, Matt Cullen, Joe Thornton to Florida, Derek Brassard to Colorado, Joe Pavelski also leaves San Jose, goes to St. Louis. Damn. Jujar stayed in Florida, and we're caught up. Damn. Big pickup. Big pickup for Ottawa to get Braden Point. Let's double check who's left. Big moves. Big moves. Andreas Janssen, still an RFA. Are there any medium 9s left who are worth it? There is, like Gallant, Lipanov, Stelio. I imagine they'll still be there, or maybe not. Now might be the right time to go in for the best of the best there. Maybe. And medium 6s. So Loxtonen's a 70 at 20 years old. Scott Walford got let go. All right. Let's sign Oskari Laaksonen. If we can get him from Vancouver, or outbid him from Vancouver. And forward-wise, are there any medium 9s that are worth picking up? Because there are a lot of them. Because we have to fill out the AHL anyway. Zetterlund is a 74 at 19 years old. Was a New Jersey pick that they let go. We'll try to get him, obviously. Let's see, 21 and a 70 for Tim Soderlund. 20 and a 70. Maxime Shushko, not signed by Philly. See if we can get him as well. Ivan Lodnia. My God, the AI is so dumb sometimes. Mackenzie Entwistle. All we can do is throw our name into the hat and hope that they sign, though. There's no guarantees. No guarantee. And we'll go for Lipanov as well, just to fill out the minor league roster with some half-decent prospects. See if that works for us. Braden Point to Ottawa. Lipanov signs. Shushko to Vegas. Zetterlund to Arizona. Entwistle to Philly. Lodnia signs. And The Nuge and Brodziak for Bowers and a first. God damn it. Shout out to Banana Bread. It is really good. First round pick and Shane Bowers for Ryan Nugent Hopkins, basically. Yeah. Do we give up on the Nuge for the sake of Shane Bowers and a first? Bowers is a 73 at 20 years old. I can't help but think that Colorado is going to be pretty good, though, because they just picked up Jack Hughes. I don't think that first rounder is going to be worth that much. I'm actually going to say no to that. They just picked up Jack Hughes thanks to Ottawa. Loxonen goes to Vancouver, which is okay. Brodziak and a fifth for a fourth. I'll take that. I'll move Brodziak just to move up a little bit in the draft. I'll do that. Let me add in the Arizona 6 to balance it out. And rejected. 7th? Just to not have you rip me off, because I know you're trying to. Still rejected. Brodziak to move up a round. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll trade Brodziak to move up even one round. Spooner and Cassian, along with a second for, I believe that's Albin Eriksson and Joe Saccone. Eriksson. Low 6. And Saccone is a low 4. That's going to be a no from me, unless you have a better prospect. Bogus, we ended up taking a computer-generated player. 80 overall, medium elite. Unless you have any interest in giving up a Ty Dellandrea, which I doubt you do, I'm not considering this. I'll gladly get rid of Spooner and Cassian, and that second wouldn't be too bad if we can get Ty Dellandrea, who is the most ideal prospect out of that bunch, based off of age and overall. So, that's not going to go through, obviously. I just wanted to see how close we would be. And we're in the are you kidding me stage. So, not only did we just flip them Chris Russell, but we also just dealt Ryan Spooner, Zach Cassian, and a second for Ty Dellandrea. All right, Dallas. All right. I will be uploading this to YouTube. I will be. So you'll be able to catch the full thing. They're going to be in like long blocks, I think, instead of me breaking them up. Ikonen and a 6. Oh, now you want to sign Ikonen. I really should do that. I really should do that. Like, they didn't sign Ikonen. That's you paying the stupid taxes, giving me your second round pick to get your prospect back. This is indeed a Twitch to YouTube series. It is indeed. I think I might take that. Send them Ikonen back. You pay the stupid tax of giving me a second round pick. I'm not totally against that. I think I'm probably going to take that. He's good, but I'd rather see him on Montreal where he should be. And I'll take Pekka for the year because we need someone to fill out the roster. So I'm actually going to take that. I might get in trouble for dealing him too quickly, but whatever. So there you go, Montreal. You get your guy back, which is fine, but you pay the stupid tax of giving me a second round pick. First round pick for Travis Zajac. I'm going to say no to that. Just, you know. Suzuki, a first and a fifth for Jonathan Taves. It's going to be a no for me, dog. I think I have the center depth already. Thank you. Maybe an 07, right? All right, let's see if there are any other signings. I probably should have kept Ikonen, but it was Montreal. Like, why didn't they just sign him in the first place? That's what's frustrating. Why didn't you just sign him in the first place? But some big dealings with Dallas, like I said, to trade them Chris Russell, who they engaged for, and then they also wanted Spooner Cassian in the pick, and we rework it to get to Landria. It's huge. That is huge. So signings. Any big ones here? Nashville signing a couple of goalies. Byron Frazee, Jimmy Hayes. Bunch of role players at this point. Peary to Boston. Robin Leonard resigns for New York. No major signings at this point. Belmar back to Philly. Oh boy, Magnus Puljujarvi, Marco Dano, Jamie McGinn to San Jose. Yeah, no major signings at this point. Just the rest of the prospects who are available and your role players. And Ottawa also signs Andreas Janssen via offer sheet. They give up a second-round pick. So Ottawa has given up 4 first-round picks and a second-round pick for Braden Point and Andreas Janssen. Ottawa making moves. Big-time moves. Damn. Oh, God, the sore throat needs to quit it. It needs to quit it. So how many scouts do we have signed now after that mass? Okay, so I got 19 out of 20. Is there one C-rated scout I can sign for the rest of this year? There is. Good. Let's go for Kretschmann. 4 first-round picks. Indeed. Since I don't have any budget left, but owner mode's not on, so I don't have to do what you tell me. I don't have to do what you tell me to do. Oh, boy. All right. So, to next season we go. There's still some things I have to fill out about the roster, but we should be okay. I'm going to have to remember to change everything over with the scouts as well, but that's all right. That's okay. To the next season we go. Last time this happened, the whole Scott Stevens Shanahan ordeal. Define last time this happened. All right, so how many contracts do we have? Oh, you're talking the amount of picks, I would assume. All right, so we do need to fill out this roster. We got a good amount of cap space. We have 3 first-round picks without me really even trying, because of course we do. So goalers, of course, we drafted Spencer Knight, Koskinen, Riddick, Scott, Skinner, and Wells. So we're good on goalies. If someone goes down to injury, it's a little bit rough, but that's okay. For defense, I don't want to rush Caleb Jones, so we need 1 more defenseman. And then down in the AHL, so it would be 3. Yeah. Okay, so we need some defensemen. This is what we need. I need 1 more NHL caliber guy, and then we have 3 defensemen signed for the AHL, which is probably a bit of an issue. I don't think there are any good prospects left. There are not. So let's see who we have. Xavier Ouellet. Why not? Sign him up for the year. And then down in the AHL, we do need 3 more guys and then some depth options. So let's bring back a couple of former Oilers. Gravel, Marty Marincin, and Oosterley. And I need to double check the lowest overall of my current defensemen. I don't want to sign any depth options that are any better, just to save me time in terms of going best lines. So let's see. So it's below a 73. Okay. Well, actually, in fairness for low, I don't care if he's listed as a depth defenseman or not. Only guy... Actually, I don't care about anybody there. So yeah, I can just sign the best players available. That's fine. That is fine. Probably sign 3 more defensemen. They can be as good as I want them to be. We don't have any defensive prospects in Bakersfield outside of Jones. That's how bad the situation is right now. So, Brad Hunt's another former Oiler. Let's bring him back. Who else do we want to sign? Who else should we involve in this tragedy? Do we want to sign Duncan? I kind of do. So let's see. It would have been the NHL defenseman, 6. So we have 7. I need 2 more. 2 more players. 2 more. Taylor Fadoon. You were an Oiler, weren't you? Was Taylor Fadoon an Oiler? I feel like he was. And even if you weren't, you're being dragged into this mess. Should have my Xbox 360 connected to the internet. We'll see. Depends on what 15 has to offer. And Brandon Davidson. Definitely another former Oiler. I'm dragging you all back into this disaster. You can't escape. There is no escape from Edmonton. Once you've been cursed, you can't shake it. So let's see who we need for forwards here. Who do we got? Admittedly, I'm a little bit tempted to send back certain prospects to whence they came. The likes of Isaac Ratcliffe. But that's the thing. There's already prospects who are everywhere else, right? So the Montreal one was an exception. But we have... What is that? That's 9. Not that I'm worried about Colby Cave's development, but... So, I mean... It's kind of tough to decide what to do here. So, Puljujarvi and Patinen will be on the 3rd line. Yamamoto is going to be down in the AHL. So, we need... Let's say that that's the top 6. So, I need to carve out literally 2 more lines. That's ridiculous. It's so bad. So if we say I need a top line winger, I need so I need 1 more winger for the top 6, and essentially I have to carve out a bottom. It's so bad. Oh boy. Even it's just I'm not saying I thought the roster would look better, because obviously we're playing a little bit of the long game, but holy hell. And obviously things have changed a little bit, thanks to certain Russell trades. So Zach Aston Reese. We need to sign someone for a little bit of money, so... Actually, I don't even know what the hell the cap floor is. So, Zach, you're going to get paid a decent amount here, buddy. Fuck, I didn't realize he was an RFA. Would this be offer sheet? No picks required. What's the max I can offer you before a pick is required? The answer is not much more than what I was offering you. There we go. So we'll see if we can get Zach Aston Reese via offer sheet. And from there, it doesn't matter. It's a whole bunch of nothing for the most part. So, outside of Connor Garland, who looked a little bit interesting. So, let's go for some old Flyers here. Let's go for Taylor Lear. Let's go for Daniel Audette for the hell of it. Let's go for Goalborn, the other former Flyer I had in mind. Nathan Walker. We need an Australian. Connor Garland, because it makes sense. And that would bring us up to 49. So, to be honest, I wanted to leave myself a little bit of room. Not leaving myself as much room as I wanted, but there's also no guarantees that we get everybody that we sent out for. So let's see what happens. To get this roster set for the next season. Marty Marincin signed immediately. He's like, holy shit, someone offered me an NHL job. Yes. Davidson, Fadoon, Gravel, Hunt, Connor Garland, Oosterley, Aston Reese, no guarantees yet. Walker, Wallet, Audette, Goulbourne, Lear. Is Aston Reese coming to Edmonton? He is. Okay. Cool. So, you can sign E. Pedersen. I saw that. Emil, the greatest Pedersen. The greatest. So we have Koskinen and Riddick, Skinner, Scott, and Wells. Defense this year, Clefbaum, Larson, Nurse, Sekera, Bear. And Wallet gets the call up. And then let's see, down in the minors again. I don't care about any of these guys outside of Jones. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's at least have Marty Marincin sit at the NHL level, just in case of injury. And forward-wise, so we have our 10, 11, and 12. That is not going to happen. So, Aston Reese, Taylor Lear, welcome aboard. Audette and Goulbourne, ideally, would be on this roster. We're going to send down Yamamoto, for sure. Just to let him hopefully tear up the AHL this year. And how many forwards do we have? It's 10, 11, 12, 13. That's actually good then. So yeah, Pekka can be our depth forward for this year. And we should be okay otherwise. So we are going to suck this year. Unless EA Magic works its magic. And we end up being better for no reason. We're just trying to rebuild the Oilers at the PC. Indeed. Try to bring a little bit of joy to Oilerland. So Puljujarvi's still going to be a third liner. Is he the only one that I really care about? Pekka and Marincin are the healthy scratches. Yeah, I want Puljujarvi on the third line with Patinen. Let's see. Let's see. Holy lefties, Batman. It's nothing but lefties. Which is fine. So yeah, I guess Audette, Cave, and Goulbourne work. Who do we have as the top center? Colby, Cave. So who has the better shot between you three? I think it's Goulbourne, right? No, it's actually Audette. There you go. Let's run Hagelin, McDavid, Draisaitl. Oh boy, let's run Lucic with the youngsters. Because why not? Actually, how's Lear? Lucic, Nuge, Aston Reese. Screw it. What a team we have heading into Season 2. As we just... I mean, I didn't necessarily plan on just being like, fuck it, we're going to blow it up. But that's certainly what's happened. Especially with what the AI sent us in terms of offers throughout the first calendar year. Scott and Skinner as the backups. Defense literally doesn't matter outside of Jones. And for forwards, just to make sure we don't have anybody scratched who shouldn't be. Hebig, Suzuki, and Lepanov are scratched. Okay, so yeah, we do have quite a few guys scratched here who shouldn't be. So let's go with... let's take out David Gust. Bring in Nick Suzuki because the Habs are dumb enough to let him go. Evan Play. That's going to be Lepanov spot. Luke Esposito. Don't know why it switches triggers, but that's fine. Still got 3 guys to put into this lineup. Damn it. I'm trying to think. I think it's going to be Josh Curry that ends up taking a seat here. Yeah, it's him or Cooper Marody. Marody. Yeah, it's got to be Josh Curry. Sorry, Josh. Sorry. It's junior superstar, but it's not going to happen here. So, amongst players who can play center, let's see, Tessier, a 71. Ratcliffe, a 71. Marody, a 72. Look at you. All right, let's move Maximoff over. So, top line. Let's go Suzuki, Ratcliffe, and Kyler Yamamoto. Second line's a tough one. Walker, Marody, Garland, Benson, Tessier, Lodnia, or even Maximoff. It's not too bad. At the very least, Bakersfield is greatly improved already within one season, just because of the the amount of prospects that we brought in, whether through trade or whatever else. So the one thing to do here, I'll have to make sure the trade block and our scouting is good to go. I'll do that in a minute. Let's take a look as of opening night what other rosters are looking like, shall we? Let's do that. Let's do that. I'm gonna have to decide YouTube-wise when I upload these. Do I just want it to be like the one gigantic block, or am I gonna break these down? The one giant block of content might be might be a bit horrifying. Big Boss, the draft went all right. Draft went okay. Let's see what other teams are looking like here heading in to Season 2. Just a giant block. We're going on 3 hours already. So, Anaheim still have Raquel, Getzlaff, and Kasha's up to an 86. Sprong, Henry, Corey Perry. Zach Smith, of course, who they acquired alongside Duchesne, who they already lost, with Devon Shore, and now 79 overall Max Comtois makes the roster. Nick Ritchie, Ryan Kessler, and Troy Terry. So, Sprong with some good improvement. Kasha, some good improvement as well. And then Comtois and Terry make their debut on a main roster, at least. For, starting roster. Their defense is what you would expect outside of Christian Folin. It's not too bad. Goaltenders, Gibson and Miller. Gibson up to an 89. And Sam Steele is a healthy scratch at a 79 alongside Kruger and Eves. Why Sam Steele's not in that lineup over Kessler, I don't know. But, main roster debut, we're playing WWE. Well, opening night roster debut, I do believe. Arizona. Keller's up to an 89. Step on, they signed Jordan Eberle. Galchenyuk made it up to an 87, which is kind of crazy, but he did. Schmaltz and Fisher, Donskoy, who they signed, Christian Dvorak and Michael Grabner, Lawson Krause, Nick Merkley makes the opening night squad with Vinny Hinostroza. It's a pretty well-rounded lineup. Eberle's a huge get for them. Defensively, OEL Yalmerson, Chikrin, that's what you would expect outside of the addition of Jordy Ben. Ranta and Kemper, 85 Ranta, Connaughton, and Lyabushkin. The scratches. Boston, Marchand, Bergeron, Pasternak, 83 DeBrusk, Krejci, and 80 Donato. Bjork, Heinen, and Solaric up to a 78. Not bad. JFK at an 80. Backus down to a 78. And Sean Corrali. Pretty similar to what you would expect. No major free agent acquisitions. Defensively, you still have Krug and McAvoy is up to an 88. Chara and Carlo, who went up, I think, by 3 to an 83. John Moore and Matt Grzelcyk. The goaltending, shockingly, Rask and Halak. Rask back up to an 89. That is not where I put him. Tuukka Rask went up by like 3 overall points from season to season. Scratches, Jamel Smith, Joachim Nordstrom, and Kevin Miller. So that Bruins roster that just won the Cup, too. Funny enough. Pretty much what you would expect. Pretty much what you would expect. Buffalo, Sherry, 91 Eichel, and 85 Reinhardt. Okposo with an 81 Casey Middlestat and 82 Evan Rodriguez. DSP, Vladimir Sobotka and Richard Panik. Gergensons, 78 Tage Thompson. And Alex Nylander makes the 4th line, 79 overall. So Buffalo with a decent bit of promotion as well from the AHL. 85 Dahlin, 86 Risto. They signed Jake Gardner. Next to Jake McCabe, Scandella is with Brendan Goulet. Made it up to an 80. Goalers, still Hutton and Olmark. Wilson, Bogosian, and Slava Zadorov, who they drafted number 2 overall. Probably not a good idea to have the number 2 overall pick be a healthy scratch, but what do I know? Carolina, Svechnikov up to an 84, 90 overall Aho. and an 85 Tabo. His extension is in the game, by the way. So, or at least I added it. So, there you go. Williams, Stahl, and Nino Niederreiter. Furland, Nakash up to an 82. Next to Warren Fogle is up to an 80. Fourth line, Brock McGinn, Lucas Wallmark up to a 80, and Julian Gauthier 78. So Carolina as well. Already within one season with this edited roster, you have some pretty good promotion examples from guys coming up from the AHL. Hayden Fleury up to an 81. Aside from that, the defense is what you'd expect. 80 McElhaney and 80 Darling, so no crazy development for either goalie. Capo Caco, third overall pick in the draft, a healthy scratch. Don't know what the AI's thinking, but okay. Capo Caco, healthy scratch. Probably not good for his development, but, you know, first year Fogle won the Calder. I mean, he was off to a hot start in real life for a little bit. Panarin stayed in Columbus. 89 Dubois Atkinson. Foligno, Wenberg, Bjorkstrand. Milano's back on the squad. They signed Brian Boyle and Andreas Martinson. Pretty much the same. Defense, Werenski and Jones are monsters. Nidivara up to an 83 with David Savard. And Gabe Carlson up to an 81 with Ryan Murray. Solid defense. Again, Bobrovsky stayed, as did Eunice Korpisalo. Sherratt, Stenlund up to a 77, and Riley Nash are the healthy scratches. Calgary, I mean, Goodrow, Monahan, Kachuk. It's nuts. Lindholm, Backlund, Neal, Dylan Dubé with Jankowski, Frolik, Derek Ryan, Sam Bennett, and Austin Zarnik. Gio and Hannafin, Brody Hamonic, Stone, and Rasmus Anderson up to an 80. Goalers, 88 Mike Smith. There you go. There you go. You knew one goalie was going to experience the crazy development, and Mike Smith goes from like an 83 to an 88 at 37 years old. John Gillies is the backup. Nielsen, Valimaki, and Shillington. Valimaki up to a 77. Let's see, Chicago, 86 to Brinkett. Kane and Taves, Saad up to an 86. Strome up to an 81. Perlini an 84. Kajula, Anisimov, and now 79 overall Dylan Sikora. Dominic Cahoon, David Kampf, and John Hayden. Their defense. So basically their offense is what you would expect. No major additions. Defense is also what you would expect. Yuki Harju up to an 81. No crazy regression for Keith and Seabrook, though. Crawford and Ward. Jan Ruda, who re-signed as a scratch. Colorado. Landeskog, 91 McKinnon, 91 Rantanen. 85 Alex Kerfoot with Jack Hughes. And Silverberg. Derek Brassard signed as well. Soderberg and Comfer. Tyson Jost at an 81. Kamenev and Martin Kaut makes the lineup at a 79 overall heading into Season 2. So that is just a ridiculous team for Colorado. Defensively, 83 Girard with Barry. No other changes there, though. So the defense is a bit weak. Varlamov and Grubauer, though, the combination. Calvert and Sven Andrighetto. Dallas. Any changes? Aside from Jason Robertson being an 83. How the hell did that happen? I'm tempted to look up on the editing dock where Robertson is. I can tell you, he starts nowhere near an 83. That's ridiculous development. Gurionov up to a 79. Wow, Jason Robertson an 83. Defense, Heiskanen up to an 89. Better than Klingberg. Lindell an 84. They signed Tyler Myers and Julius Honkas up to an 81. Goalies, Bishop and Hadobin. Of course, they traded for Chris Russell. They initiated that. And he's a healthy scratch next to McQuaid and Johns. Detroit, 84 Philip Zadina on the top line by the end of the first season. 90 overall Larkin, 85 Nyquist. Athanasiou up to an 84. Mantha an 84. Rasmussen and Bertuzzi both 81s. Not a bad year 2 lineup for Detroit. Cholowski an 83. Ronick up to an 80. What do you got in goal? Bernier and Caden Fulcher. Caden Fulcher's their backup. Daly, Svechnikov, and Cronwall are scratches. They let go of Jimmy Howard, and they have Caden Fulcher as the backup. Florida. Hoffman, Barkov, Huberdeau. Joe Thornton signed. He's with Trocheck and Dadonov. Puljujarvi, who we traded last year. Bjorkstad and Filppula. Juha Lammikko with Vetrano. And Henrik Borgstrom on the fourth line. Handel and Ekblad, Matheson, Strawman, Jensen, and Pissick. The goaltenders, Luongo and Reimer. Malgin, McCoshin, and Chris Weidman, the healthy scratches. Los Angeles. Kovalchuk improved somehow. Campaign 83. They signed Jordan Martinuk, Riley Sheehan, and Brandon Leipzig. That is not a very strong team. The defense as well. No major changes. Quick and Campbell. In goal, Sherbak, Raffle, and Amadio. It's the scratches. Minnesota. Top line still looking good. Second line looking good with Greenway up to an 81. We traded them Reeder. They have Reeder and Chase on at this point with Coyle. Erickson X an 81. Pontus Aberg's there. The defense, Dumba's up to an 89. Absolute monster. They signed Coburn and Petrovich. And the goaler. My eye. Stop it. Got something in my eye. It sucks. Capo Kakkonen is the backup. 77. Luke Kunin, Paterin, and Victor Rask. A healthy scratch. 82 overall Rask is scratched on their opening night roster. Montreal with Drouin, Domi, and Gallagher. Drouin up to an 89. As is tradition. Alright, there we go. 84 Kokoniemi. Byron up to an 81. Lekanen, Dano, Shaw, Hudon. Curtis Lazar made it up to an 80. Damn. And Armia is 79. Defense is Petrie, Weber, and Mete up to an 81. Juleson an 82. Riley and Brett Lernout makes it up to a 79. Makes Montreal's opening night roster. Price and Mrazek are the 1-2 punch. So, I mean, obviously Price is going to be there. But still. And then Ikonen's a healthy scratch. Nothing like trading someone to have a second-round pick. Or nothing like trading a second-round pick to have someone be a healthy scratch. New Jersey. Hischer up to an 87. The top line's still great. Jesper Bratt, Anderson, Quinville, and Nason. They signed Matthias Janmark. Nothing crazy there. Outside of Slater Cuckoo. Going to New Jersey. Jimmy Howard with Corey Schneider as the goaltending tandem. Trennan and Yakovlev as the backups, or the healthy scratches, I should say. Nashville. Forsberg, Johansson, Arvidsson. And then, well, Forsberg, Johansson, Arvidsson, Johansson, Turris Smith. Fiala's an 83. Nick Baptiste makes the team. And again, their defense is just nuts. They have Andre Schuster. Rene and Saros. Yarncroke, Watson, and Weber as the healthy scratches. The Islanders. Lee, Barzal's up to an 88. Beauvillier an 84. Hosang made it up to an 83. And that's about it. A couple of changes to their team with like Cullen and Brodziak. Brett Connolly as well. Pulak an 85. 80 overall Mayfield. 79 Pelican. 77 Devin Taves. That is not a strong defense. Grayson Leonard, still the 1-2 punch. Brandon Tanev, Mitch Vandesample, at least makes the squad. He's a scratch, though. And Cizikas. The Rangers, Bushnevich an 84, Zibanejad an 87. Kreider back up to an 85. And then Duclair, 82 Howden, 82 Hedel. That's a damn good fourth line. 85 Shea. Freaking Pionk up to an 84. Stahl and Delzato as the third pairing. Yikes. Lundqvist and Georgiev as 79. The end of the first season. Nieves Bouwmeester and Ryan Strome, the healthy scratches. Ottawa, this is going to be interesting. 85 Brady Tkachuk, 90 overall Braden Point, who they got via offer sheet. Mark Stone, they kept. DeZingle, 83 White, and 82 Andreas Janssen, who they got through offer sheet. Gaborik rebounded well. Tierney in 82, Bobby Ryan still there. And Paul, 79, Halapik, and Bodker. That's not a terrible roster. It's pretty well-rounded. Defensively, 90 overall, Thomas Shabatawa with an 84 Lajoie. DeMello is an 80. I missed that. I'm going to call you 7. Thank you for the follow. They have Dan Girardi. That's a bit rough, though. Goalie is 85 Anderson, who actually improved. Harper, Pajot, and Yaros as the scratches. Philly. Giroux, Couturier, Voracek. JVR, Patrick up to an 83 with 84 Konechny. Lindblom, Lawton. They kept Wayne Simmons. Brought back Belmar. Justin Bailey made the team. 89 Provorov. 83 Sanheim. They brought in Brendan Smith. That's not good. Carter Hart, backup. 80 overall, heading into Season 2. Behind Elliott, who didn't regress. McDonald, Obey Kubel made the opening night roster, at least as a scratch, and Brandon Manning, who they wanted to reacquire from us, so they did. How do I flip the puck up? When click on the stick, drop it back, tap right bumper. Saucer pass. Let's see. Pittsburgh. Jake Gansel, up to an 85. Crosby Kessel. Pearson Malkin. So obviously the bottom 6 is a bit weaker. Simone's a 78. Lafferty, Brian Rust. Then Blandisi, Anthony Angelo, and Casper Bjorkvist all make the squad. They signed Nick Leddy. Letang, Schultz. How the hell could they even afford Leddy? Healthy scratches of Jack Johnson and Marcus Pettersson. Murray's back up to an 87, to Smith an 82. Let's see, San Jose, they've had quite a bit of change with Pavelski and Thornton both going. Hurdle, Couture, Meyer. So Hurdle and Meyer both 85s. They signed Paul Stastny, or traded for Stastny. Sorensen, Malcolm Carlson, Suomela's an 81. LeBanc, and Rourke Chartier makes the roster to 79. Burns, Carlson both stayed. Or Carlson stayed at least. Kyle Wood made the roster. And Jones and Dell. Radil, Nemeth, and Simic. St. Louis. My God, that's center depth. Pavelski, O'Reilly, Shen, and Bozak. Jesus, they also signed Pominville and Remielli. Defense. Vince Dunn up to an 85. Edmondson an 83. They have Spiza and Ruedel, though, as their third pair. Allen rebounded up to an 86. Anders Nilsson now the backup. Sammy Blais, Ivan Barbashev, and Robert Thomas, all healthy scratches. That is probably not good. You probably don't want 3 younger players as your healthy scratches, but there you go. They're at least there. Tampa. Millers with Stammer and Kucherov. Palat, Cirelli up to an 80. Yanni Gord. Johnson, Johan Larsson, and Killorn. Adam Ernie and Matthew Joseph, both 79s. 89 Sergachev. Cal Foots made the roster at an 80. As has Eric Cernak at a 79. 90 Vasti. 79 Connor Ingram as the backup. Tim Heaton, Carl Gunnarsson as the scratches. Let's see. Chirana. What do we got in the Toronto? 90 Marner, 91 Tavares, 90 Nylander. Jeff Skinner, 90 Matthews, 83 Kapanen. Marlowe, Kadri, Hyman, Brown. Holland is back. And Carl Grunstrom at a 78. 90 Riley with 83 Dermott. Joachim Ryan with 82 Zaitsev. Borgman and Morrow. That defense, man. Oof. So got Anderson, and that was 78 Sparks. Clayson, Kislevich, and Jeremy Bracco. Healthy scratches. Vancouver. 90 Pedersen. 89 Besser. 87 Horvat. 88 Matt Duchene. Goldobin up to an 81. For Tannen at a 79. The defense is exactly what you would expect. Goalie is Michael DiPietro. Improved about 15 overall points, if not more. I swear he went from a 67-68 to an 83 in one season. Tied with Markstrom, who rebounded from an 80 up to an 83. So, ridiculous goalie development. Tyler Mott and Derek Englund as the scratches. So Michael DiPietro just continues to jump over Thatcher Demko. In Vegas with Marchessault, Carlson, and Pacioretty. Smith, Holland, and 85 Alex Tuck. They signed Maroon and Ratty. Valentin Zykov makes the roster to 78. Theodore up to an 87. Of course, they traded for Vatanen, McNabb, and Holden. Fleury and Talbot, not a bad tandem in theory. John Merrill and Igor Ozhiganov. Winnipeg, 89 Line, 90 Scheifele, 91 Wheeler. You have Ehlers at an 86. Kyle Connor up to an 86. Actually, I think he might have been there. Appleton an 80. Roslovic a 79. The defense, Morrissey an 85. The defense is actually a little bit weak, but Nelson Nogier makes the squad, as does Sami Niku at a 77. The goalie is Hellebuck and Brossois still. Dano, Kopp, and 78 Vesalainen. Healthy scratches. Last but not least, Washington. 83 Verana, 86 Tom Wilson. Shirko, Ennis. Defensively, not much, though, in terms of changes. Juice in 81. And Holtby in 88. 75 Vanasek is the backup. Bowie, Boyd, and Letestu as the scratches. Oh, boy. All right. I will be right back. But that might do it for us in terms of what we're doing with Edmonton for tonight. I'll see. I'll let you know in a moment.